I think I got it. This is so weird. I think I got it. There we go.
Live on YouTube, 10 seconds behind.
Can you see it?
I see that I'm live on YouTube.
Okay. There we go.
Live on YouTube, 10 seconds behind.
With a wicked delay.
You see it? I see it.
Did you turn the camera? Okay, there we go. All right. We're here. We did it. We figured it out. All the with a wicked delay. All the admin stuff.
I think we got to use headphones for this, dude, because otherwise we're gonna be talking over ourselves.
All right. Okay. I just paused it, so we're good.
Yeah, I think like if either like even if you don't have the headphones in, so that's not in your ears, because you and I are just gonna talk, right?
Yeah.
That won't work because then won't be able to hear each other.
Do we need headphones right now?
No, but just fuck. Is there a way to like how do we not hear that feedback every time? Unless, yeah, you don't like. I don't know.
Is there no?
Maybe you know what? You wouldn't hear the feedback if it's you wouldn't hear the feedback if we have headphones on because it wouldn't be ambient in the room.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me grab some headphones then.
Okay.
I think I should have some in here, unless the lovely Mary headphones that I can grab from her. Do you have the ones that I gave you? No. No.
Charge these. If you want other ones, I have to go get them out of my car.
All right.
Do you want me to get them out of my car?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, let's see if I can get these to pair, and we should be good.
Wait, never mind. That's so funny. I went to go like pair it to my laptop, but I'm actually not here.
Oh, come on. Find this thing, please.
All right. I'm good. I think anyway.
Yeah, I can't get these things to pair. They're not my headphones, so don't hold it against me.
No big deal, dude. Just watching the racing now.
Hopefully we'll get it figured out by the mains. Well, if anyone's watching, thank you very much for tuning in and allowing us to infiltrate your living room. We are having some admin difficulties. We should have it figured out here in another couple minutes. That way we can at least be solid for the 450. This is our first go at this. Really excited about it. So bear with us while we kind of work out the kinks a little bit, but we should be good to go in just a few.
How lame is it that Dave doesn't have DVR, so he can't pause this so that we can be in sync?
I know, dude. It happens. What are you gonna do?
What the fuck just happened to sales?
Yeah, some get a little bit messed up in the rhythm section.
Yeah, I think someone hit his handlebar. Oh, someone else ate shit. Hold on. Was it your Fleming?
Oh no,
This
dude,
guy.
please.
Messaged me 2 hours ago. Should I pick Wilson? Fucking no. Who is this Sanford guy?
I don't know, dude. I feel like every weekend there's a new guy that's like
On the top. Yeah, that's because no one's in this class. This is like literally the shittiest class ever.
You think so? To date?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Dude, like this is the shittiest East Coast I've ever seen it. Like maybe the only year it might have been like
heavy.
less deep when I guess, but like, okay, we don't know yet, but there's a good chance that Jet's out for the night. Half of Team Kawasaki's out. All of Husqvarna is out. Suzuki has one representative in John Short.
Yeah.
Like you got like, I don't even know who this is. Luovi?
Who's that?
Give me some facts on Luovi. No idea, but he's in 6th right now. Like I can tell you more about Lorenzo Camparisi and fucking Logan Carnow, who is not in shape, by the way. My God.
He's getting up there. So one thing I do like about Carnow is that the dude brought himself from a barely main event guy who was honestly on the bubble more than he was anywhere else, and then like worked himself, speed, commitment, and the dude is a solid like top 10 guy this year. Like he's very capable of having a top 10 ride. I think the next piece of the puzzle is just fitness, which is what we've seen from these guys for a long time now, right? Like that's the last piece of the puzzle for a lot of pros.
Fitness, and I think he needs to be on more sturdy equipment and not to besmirch the good name of Bubba Pauly and the team that he runs. Like, and they have a lot of great sponsors. I don't know if those Kawasaki's to me seem kind of all kind of put together. You know what I mean? Like they like not a lot of the components seem to work well together. Whereas, like obviously, like even a B-level team, like a what's it called there, the Team Solitaire Yamahas, like they seem like more of a complete package versus like the Supercross International team with Carnow on it. It seems a little bit disjointed. I don't know.
No, I hear you. It definitely looks that way from the outside, but I really think that they've got their stuff dialed. I mean, like talking to them every weekend, like talking to Carnow, talking to Pauly, like they keep saying like how good their bikes are, and he'll be the first person to tell you a couple years ago these bikes were kind of cobbled together. They weren't really that good. Like we'd have some parts and components that, I mean, I don't want to say not good, but just things that weren't as cohesive and working as well together, right? But I think now
they've a different team now, though.
They've definitely
he's
figured it
not
out.
on PRMS anymore.
No.
He's with
I mean Pauly and the rest of those guys. I think they've got it figured out. Yeah. Not just Carnow, but yeah, they seem to like their bikes.
Yeah, like Pauly was on it was on Cowie's when it was the TSX racing team with Michael Akaiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, he's got serious skills on two wheels. I think he relies on that a little bit too much. He's definitely got potential to be like all pieces together on good equipment. You could easily see him in the top 10 on a regular basis. I think there's just some lapses of his ability to stay at the front of the pack due to his some lack of fitness here and there. I think that's the biggest thing with Carnow.
Yeah, I think fitness.
Wild. Yeah, I think like this 250 class is insane. I'm looking at like right now, like in this heat race, like this Luhovi in 8th. This is going to be his first main event. But literally, there's like 5 other guys in this heat race that are about to go to the LCQ that have made mains in this series already, and this is only race 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's not to say that there's like it's not super deep. I think you're totally right. It's very top heavy, but like that group of like 10th through 29th is like all the same guy.
I hear what you mean. I definitely hear what you mean. I think I kind of come from I come from both trains of thought. So I do like what you said there. Like, yeah, it's not as stacked. I think it's very top heavy. The top 5 guys are the only guys that really I think garner a lot of the attention of the 250 series. I'll give you that. But it also gives us a chance to see 10 to 15 guys that we've never would have heard of Journeyman. We've never heard of Doe. We would have never heard of half these guys making it into the, if it wasn't for this series and they're making it into mains or getting good rides. So it's kind of nice to see a new batch of 250 guys, like the next level of the car nows from 2 years ago that were just trying to figure out how to make it in. So I do like that regard. So
yeah, it's made for great racing in the LCQs. Like the LCQs are like pure comedy as well as like just blind rage when it comes to like getting your guys in. Like, I don't know about you, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my team, I think outside of Lane Shaw, actually Lane Shaw's not on my team. That's my send-it team for Fall from Next Fantasy. Who'd you pick for Fall from Next Fantasy? And I hope that everybody's watching, all 3 of you, play Fall from Next Fantasy. Dave didn't join my league because he's a fucking pussy. But
I'm gonna join your league. Shut up! Stop your whining. All right. So for this weekend, actually, first, if you guys didn't hear it before, thank you and welcome to the very first watch party that we're doing for Supercross. We thank you for watching and tuning in. We're gonna do these probably once every couple weeks. As myself, I will not be traveling to the races for the midweek rounds. I would like to, but work calls, and it's kind of nice. Yeah, it's kind of nice to just sit on my couch and watch a race. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna try to do these quite frequently. I want to thank my Brad, Mr. Co-host over here of Big MX Radio, for taking the time to watch the race with us. Let us do a little bit of bench racing back and forth as we watch these things divulge. Normally, I'm texting Brad sitting in the stands or in the pits about the race. Now it's nice that we can actually watch it together and share it with all of you guys for the most part. So I want to say thank you, and please be sure to send us in your questions. All of the chat is open on YouTube. Please feel free to share this and get as many people involved as you can. One thing I want to talk about before we get going on more racing is Brad has one of the coolest podcasts you're ever going to see. He's stationed out of Canada. I know you guys. I know you think about Canadians, but trust me, Brad's a cool one. No, I'm kidding. And one thing I like about Brad's podcast is that it's fun, it's informative, it's interactive, and it's funny. It is such a good show. Brad, give us like a minute of just talking about Big MX Radio for people who might not have heard of Big MX Radio before.
Hey, and I appreciate the kind words, my friend. If you're not already a Big MX Radio listener, grow up. It's a fantastic podcast. It's something that I've been passionately working on for what's coming up on 7 years, with almost 800 episodes uploaded. I like to bring on all kinds of people onto the podcast, whether it be mechanics, industry professionals like Dave. I had JT Fox from Alpine Star just last week. We're about to release a podcast, Ian Treadle. I like to dig deep. I like to find a lot of conversations that people aren't having, so the stories that haven't not yet been told. And then I also like to give my take on the races. I've been going to the races for a long time. Supercrosses. I myself been to well over 35 Supercross races over my tenure doing the podcast. In fact, I've never actually watched any of them sitting next to Dave Drake. So this is actually going to be a first of the two of us actually conversating while we're doing this. But I really enjoy the sport. I love it. I think my passion for the racing comes out in in my podcast, and I hope that people listen to the podcast, enjoy it, and if they give it a listen, then it would be greatly appreciated, and we can share some laughs together. Thanks, Dave.
Oh, for sure. No worries. Brad has been a big supporter of the collective experience, and we want to thank him for that. As we're getting ready to drop the gate for heat number 1 in the 450s, guys, check out the YouTube channel that we have going on. We've got a lot of vlog videos, a lot of behind the scenes from races this year. We're going to have some more coming out about bike reviews, some more talking about, interviewing with riders, weekly reports, behind the scenes from the pits. Check out our YouTube channel, subscribe, tell your friends. We want to keep this thing going. Brad, we got some heavy hitters, it looks like, in this heat. I know you're a little bit delayed from where I am, and we're just delayed in general because there's a 20-second delay between us recording and us getting on the live. We got Tomac, Savachi, Brayton. Looks like we've got Bogle in this one. We've got a few SGB racing guys. We've got Scotty Wennerstrom. Who do you think is going to take this one? Is this going to be a clear-cut Tomac domination for this moto? Or looks like we got Marvin up there too. What do you think?
Well, the gate has not yet dropped for me, so I will say that Tomac is going to take this thing. I think the only guy who can challenge him on this one would be Marvin, and you already told me that he got a good start. So, and for those who are watching, I don't think we're going to do a ton of really play-by-play of the races, but definitely kind of talk about where people are at during the race, who we're surprised to see up as high as they are or back as far as they're at, or who's coming through the field at certain times. That's going to keep us a little bit more on track as they just came across the finish line for me.
Almost definitely. Yeah, it's a little bit of a arduous task because we are so delayed from each other, and we're just delayed in general, like we said, going from Zoom to YouTube. So it's gonna be pretty difficult, but we're gonna make it work. Another guy that I like in this one is Barsha. Barsha looked so good early on in the season. I'm talking about round 1, round 2 in Houston. Barsha looked like Barsha from the 250 class, man. He seems to be loving that gas. You and I talked about it, Brad. We thought it would take him how long to be able to get comfortable on his gas bike coming from Yamaha for all those years, and the guy looks solid, man. Do you think that Barsha has a shot at creeping up in championship points and getting more wins, or is this kind of like, Barsha, he can win an opener, but he can't really put together for a season? What Barsha are we seeing this year?
Well, I think you're going to see some highs and lows, and that's not exactly great analysis when it comes to Barsha, because that's what basically we've seen his entire career. But the one thing I do think is the feather in his cap is that he's extremely talented, and I think that and Tomac's down. That's not good. I think that the way he revs the bike and the way that he pushes the motorcycle is actually going to be less abrasive for the gas, it being a chromoly frame and something that's a little bit more forgiving, especially in Supercross. I think that that's going to have his results kind of come back towards that mean finish, or maybe even bring his bad nights not be so bad. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I'm really liking Marvin Musquin. He seems to be progressing pretty decently now. It looks like it took him to get going a little bit longer than we thought. Being Marvin Musquin, dude, super solid. He can win in any given weekend. It's taken him a little bit longer to get going. So it's nice to see him kind of making those strides. He's not a top qualifier. A lot of people kind of write him off because he's not topping qualifying very often. But Marvin is a very, very good rider. Brad, how long before we see Marvin sneaking in and getting those really crafty Frenchman-esque podiums and wins?
Well, he had a podium in the first round, and I think he's going to return to the podium tonight, and he's definitely going to get some extra awesome points for my PulpMX fantasy team. But honestly, it's going to depend on the start. If he, that's a terrible place for that tough block. Oh, poor Vince. It's really interesting the way it's going to play out. I think that he's got the skills. He's been there before. He doesn't read the back of jerseys at all. And
No,
did I
what I
miss
just
something?
noticed is buddies Cade Clayson and Alex Ray are running 9 and 10, with Clayson being in the 9th transfer spot. And dude, Cade has been riding so freaking well, and I know he's been just gnawing at chomping at the bit, trying to get into the main, and he has an opportunity to do it from the heat race, which would be phenomenal. But he's got Alex Ray behind him, who we all know is a bruiser. The guy can ride a bike very
They
well.
both have Freezy behind both of them. So what are the chances that two of those guys are on the ground and neither of them are Vince Freezy in the next?
Pretty high. It looks like Freezy's gonna grab Clayson here pretty soon anyway. But
yeah, no.
Yeah,
did A-Ray go down? Did I see him on the side of the track, or is he still there?
I don't believe so. It's saying he's P11, so
okay.
It's pretty.
I think Freezy's going to get Clayson, and honestly, if Clayson can get a good start, he can make it in through the LCQ this weekend. I think he can.
Yeah.
Why does Devin Raper still race Supercross?
He's solid, dude. He's solid. And you know what? Bugs me? Every time I see him, the dude looks just like Russ the rapper. I don't know if you know who Russ is, but like
no.
He looks identical. And I always bring it up in the races. I'm like, does this guy not look like Russ the rapper? And he's just like, and everyone's like, oh no, I don't know who that is. And it just drives me freaking insane.
I'll have to take your word for it. He also looks like a guy who hasn't made a main event since like 2015.
I still think he's solid. I like him.
In what way?
I like the heart he's got. I like that he's just out there like keeping it going. He's better than both of us, but I don't think that's the benchmark here. Yeah.
What is happening? What are they? Why are they showing like a KTM foot peg?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's weird watching the broadcast.
Oh, it's so that like to show how they kind of bend backwards. It's interesting. They don't often show shit like that, and I don't think anyone who. The thing is, if you own a motocross bike, you already know that feature exists. If you don't own a motorcycle, like what, you wouldn't give two fucks. Like, well, why would that even matter to you?
Exactly. I think they're just trying every and anything to try and get people to, or trying to attract people with like all this information that might not know much about the sport, make them feel like they're more included, which I commend that for sure. But I think they slightly more interesting things they could talk about, to be honest with you, that I think would I guess entice the really well-informed fan, as well as people who are eager but don't know much about the sport yet but want to learn. I think they could do a little bit better job at showcasing that stuff.
Last lap here. What are you looking at here? Like Marvin, he's been giving up time to Barsha for the last lap and a half here. I don't think Barsha's going to get him, but it's encouraging to see that Barsha's got some pace, especially early.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Freezy got Clayson, and now Clayson's in 11th, or he's in 12th.
So it looks like we've got A-Ray and Clayson both going to the LCQ. Am I right?
Yeah, same thing with Jeremy Smith, Nick Schmidt, Scotty Winterstrom, and all the gang.
Okay, so let's talk about fantasy for a little bit. I don't know if everyone part of the live is on Pulp MX Fantasy, but please, I implore you, please check out Pulp MX Fantasy. It is one of the most fun fantasy leagues you could possibly sign up for. They've got a very comprehensive and very industry insider-ish, which, being the collective experience, we love that. Very insider-ish type of setup where you can actually get handicaps and awarded double points for certain riders, and it makes it very, very fun. In that one, I had Marvin Muskin, so I'm feeling pretty good. I don't expect him to win tonight, but I do expect him to be solid. What's that?
I had Marv Muskin, Marv, Tomac, and then I need Chiz and Davalos, and I'll have 8 in the main event.
Let's see who I picked. I can't even remember, to be completely honest with you. So I had.
How you doing? So you didn't join my league, so I don't know. I can't keep track of you.
I've got Marvin, who was a 0 handicap, but I think he's still going to be good on double points because he's not an all-star guy. So I've got Marvin, Tickle, Cooper, and Chiz. And for those out there who don't know, Chiz is always going to chiz. That guy is money in the bank for a solid entry into a main event. So feels like I made the right choice, or at least I can hope.
Yeah, I can't find you. What leagues are you in?
I am in. Let me see which leagues. And again, guys, that's pulpmxfantasy.com. Please be sure to join the Collective Experience League. We're going to be giving away some cash, some prizes, and it's a whole lot of fun. So I'm in Flow Vision, Rack Racing, Verb Moto. I'm in FXR Racing, FXR Moto, Cycle Dump, Arm Pump Champs, Pookie Get Up Here, Barbados MX, Two Stankin', you name it. I'm in a bunch of them.
But not the Big MX Radio official league, which was a paying league. It's a $10 entry, and you could win. First place is taking home $100.
All right. Well, I can still give you cash and join. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I'll send you some cash. What's the password to get in? That way I can, or you know what? Just send it to me in the Zoom.
No, like anyone.
Zoom
like,
chat.
I guarantee anyone who's watching is, and if someone uses the password that's not allowed to be in there, and didn't pay, I'll clip them out of there. So it's not a big deal.
Okay. No worries. Hold on. Let me.
Fantasy 21, capital F, Fantasy 21. And if anybody, like right now we're at 37 players. If we add by more than, if I don't get more than $10 and I see it that it's at 39, people are getting booted out. So don't try.
So what is it? Capital F Fantasy 21?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling good about my team. I didn't gamble as much this week as I have in previous weeks.
So you're winning. Wow, you had a very good week. 290?
290 was on my last week, yeah.
Wow. Okay, you did great. Okay. So I'm currently 12th in your league.
That's not bad. You're mid-pack. My chick's beating you, but I make her pay. Yeah, where are you, Dave?
Okay.
Well, yeah, DJ's clown. Yeah, not bad. The last one, 274. That was really good. Anything, if you stay in the 200s in Supercross, if you're 200 or more on a regular basis, 220, you're looking good. Like, it's the weekends where you get like 150.
Well, we're a lot better than last year, if you remember, where I wasn't looking too hot with my 91 in the first round. it wasn't very pretty.
Actually, I was looking at yours from like last year at Salt Lake. You went 157, 174, 167. Like, they're not terrible, but it's just not where you want to be. Like, your best one last year, actually, you had two really good ones back to back. Arlington and Atlanta last year.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah. 184 was your highest. But yeah, last year, the first round, a 91 in Anaheim. Who the fuck did you pick and get 91? Okay, you went with Cody Schock and Martin Costello. Where did that guy go? Hartraft and Dylan Ferrandis were your only points in 250s. And you got Adam Cianciarulo, Colton Act. What business did you have picking Colton Act to make a main event at A1?
I know. I was banking on all of my handicapped high riders. So yeah.
I know. All right. Well, you also took Anderson. Not a bad pick. That was a decent pick for you. And then he must have been an all-star. So you took two all-stars at A1, Bolton. And then you also lost 7 points on the lap leaders. Do you do the lap leaders?
Nope, not anymore. Unless I'm absolutely certain it's not worth the risk. And it looks like we've got another gate drop on the heat race number 2. This is going to be super good. Cooper Webb with the whole shot, and he's got Kenny, and he's got a bunch of other fast guys right next to him, AC. Brad, I'm just going to say it. You know I'm a huge AC fan. You know I love Kenny as well. But if I have to pick, I want to see Kenny get this title, man. I want to see Kenny finally show that Ken Roczen potential that we know was there since he signed with Honda initially. Is this going to be the year that he gets it done? Do you see a championship in his future?
Yeah, I really do. I think that he's put himself in the position to control his own destiny. He's not playing catch up. He's leading after 4 rounds. Still looks fast. Doesn't look like he's fatiguing, and that's a problem for everybody in the class. Like, I think it's going to be a 3-way battle between Cooper Webb, Ken Roczen, and Eli Tomac going forward, and the guy who's going to be the most kind of thorn in the side and consistently fast but not winning races is going to be AC. I think I like what I see from AC right now, but not everything that I see from AC right now. Like he's kind of that, like, he's for sure the best of the rest, but not. I think he's going to find himself in the 4th place spot. I would be willing to bet he's in 4th for 8 races out of the next however many there are.
Oh, I have to agree. I mean, I love what Adam's been able to do. He looks like he figured out a little bit of the consistency game over his rookie year last year. I just think he needs that little extra, and I think it's a little bit of racecraft and just that early sprint speed that we see from guys like Cooper or especially Roczen, who's really good about getting out front very quickly and early, and then just managing his race, which ties into good racecraft. I think Adam will be there. It's just gonna take him a little bit of time, and that's just a testament to how freaking fast and how insane the guys who are winning, like Cooper, like Eli, like Kenny, are. It's pretty remarkable.
It certainly is, and like, you know what else is remarkable is look at this heat race right now. You got Brock Tickle, who is a 250 champion, in 10th spot. Like,
it's crazy.
It's like you got like Justin Rodbell, Joan Cross, Adam Enticknap, Ludovic McClure. I don't know what's in Starling right now. I think he's got an ankle issue right now. AJ the Cat, Van Martin. Like this is an insane heat race. Yeah, and like one of these guys going to the LCQ is likely going to be Tick. Like, it blows my mind the type of speed these guys have. If right now Malcolm Stewart is running in 6th, if he got 6th tonight in the main event, that'd be a good spot race. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like that. Yeah. If you combine the fields right now, like the 2 heat races, that's a 12th. Ain't nobody happy about 12th.
No, and that's been the theme of this year is that the class is just stacked is an understatement. Like, we've got easily 15 factory riders, factory and summer guard, whether it's factory support or factory direct, that can come out there and win. Every one of these guys has a title. Like, how, albeit it might be 250s or something like that, but how insane is that these guys are that freaking capable, man? It's insane to me.
Yeah, I think that Webb had an issue there, but I don't think that's going to affect him. I think he goes back. How much do you like? I like the 2 on the KTM. Like, something just reminds me of like McGrath when he ran it for like the 3 months or whatever it was. Coop's number 2. I like the 2 on Coop more than I ever. He did the exact same thing that Vince did. They're going to have to move that thing or at least bring it closer or something like that. That thing's a problem. But I like Cooper's 2 more than I like Villapoto's 2. It's a hot take.
I agree. I agree. I think it probably has to do with like because you and I were kind of coming up when McGrath made that switch to KTM, and like how it blew everyone's mind in the industry for a little while. We were all freaking out. That definitely, that probably is reminiscing in our head a little bit, sits in there and is giving us a little bit of deja vu with that, or a little bit of a flashback. So that's actually pretty cool. I like that. So right now, if we're looking at fantasy, I've got Tickle and Chisholm on the bubble. Looks like he's going to make it in. So I'm solid. We only have 41 seconds to go. So it's what, another 2 laps. How are you looking right now for your fantasy, Brad?
I need Chisholm to stay in ninth, and I like him to do that because he's got 5 seconds on Carlin Gardner, and then that'll be 8 guys in the main event, and we'll see what the scores come out. I don't think there's going to be as high a scores, and I don't think I'm even possible of scoring as high as I did last time around. But I'm pretty happy with the way I made my picks. Like, obviously, going with that one guy who no one's ever heard of, Luhovi, in the 250s would have been, that's an automatic 52 because he's going to max out just by racing.
But so here's the thing though, like, you run such a high risk every time you pick these guys, because like we said at the top of the show,
like could have picked that guy with any kind of confidence.
Yeah, no, like we said at the top of the show, there's the top 3 guys in every heat might be guys that you know are solid guys, and then the rest going back towards the 20th place. It's almost a free for all. Like, all these names, you don't really know who the guy is, so it's such a risk. But it looks like all these guys are getting in the main, if not from the heat race, they're getting pretty solid positions in the LCQ. So it's super nerve-wracking for me just to pick these guys and have faith that they're going to make it in, because I'd rather take a 14th than a big frat 0. So
looks like
if Malcolm got around Ferrandis
and won. Vincent Luhovi, he qualified 25th today. If you have the balls to put him on your team for today, my hat's off to you, and you deserve it.
You deserve it. So I've got all of my 450 guys, and I've got 3 of my 250 guys, and I'm waiting for LCQ to see if Fleming can do it. And I'll tell you, when I was maybe 14, when I was 14 or 15, Wilson Fleming was on minis. So I rode with him a lot when we were back in Connecticut. So I'm hoping that it can keep the New England faith strong and have a good ride.
Yeah, no, I like that. And Chiz is in, so I got all 8 in through the heat races. I've been pretty fortunate that way. Guys, I was thinking about today in fantasy that I got scared off of. Simonson, as well as I didn't like Varize, Jam Josh Varize.
He's got some work to do. Yep.
Well, the thing is that he qualified 28th. I don't know if he had an issue at some point, but he's been close to the top 10. I believe he was riding in 9th in the main event on Saturday before having his issue, and then moving back to 11th. So that scared me off. Plus, his handicap is kind of like didn't have a big change to it. But Carnell,
the risk first reward.
Carnell was going to pay off for some people. I didn't want Carnell on my team. I wanted to see him kind of like have a better night after not being able to race not race the main in on the Saturday. But yeah, all things considered, I think he's put himself in a good position qualifying through the heat race. And honestly, I think his high water mark could be about a 10th. And if he gets that, he'll be a huge scoring for people. But he also has been known to be a bit sketchy sometimes. And like he's not the best. Happens in the main event. But yeah, you need Dave.
I'll say it again. You kind of broke up a little bit.
You still there, Dave?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a bit of a delay on you. Very
Okay.
slight delay.
Hmm. Well, hopefully that clears itself up soon. Yeah, I guess I know who I'm not cheering for in the LCQ. I think I have to cheer against Wilson Fleming.
Oh, come on, man. Give me a little bit of luck. I need this to turn around. If I can get another week where I'm in PulpMX Fantasy getting at least 280 points, I will be very, very happy. So that would feel good. So I'm not gonna lie to you, Brad. You know all too well what it's like when you go to the race. You're there for week in and week out, back-to-back races. It is weird being home on the couch and not being at the stadium, because I was literally just there on Saturday, and I'm going to be there again on Friday. I will say though, this is probably the best view that I've had of the races in so long, man, because when you go to the races, you really don't get it, and you're working in the industry, you really don't get a chance to see the entire track. You're running back and forth from the pits to the tunnel. You're up in the press box quite a bit, Brad, but as you can attest, you can't really see that much. So the people at home honestly get the best views, plus you're comfy on your couch eating what you want to eat, and you're not shivering in a open stadium. So it's definitely a little bit weird not being there, but it's also nice being on the couch. Do you agree?
Absolutely. It's I love watching Supercross live in the stadium. It's fantastic. Everybody loves it. But I've watched Supercross races from the floor. I've been a photographer standing right next to the candles when they go off at a Supercross. I've watched from the luxury suite of the press box in Houston, and I've also watched in industry seating at Anaheim 1 when it's like 32 degrees outside when the gate drops for the main event. So having experienced all of that, of course, being on the floor there's nothing quite like it. But also you don't get the best of views. But as far as the replays and as far as Canada is concerned, a nice warm place to watch. Watching it from the couch ain't so bad.
I agree. I definitely think there's something to be said when you're actually there at a race. And sadly, with the collective experience, we aren't able to do our traditional fan experiences for Supercross because of COVID-19. But we hope to be back for 2022, getting fans immersed in the sport like always. And we also right now have our Arena Cross program, which gives you, the average viewer, the average fan, the opportunity to go behind the scenes and actually work with a pro Arena Cross team. And now I know what you're thinking, Arena Cross, not as big as Supercross. You couldn't be more wrong. This year, you can attest to this, Brad, the action has been almost just as good, if not better, action in Supercross, and you're getting a chance to be front row center on the stadium floor for the Arena Cross series, helping out a pro team, hands-on experience, helping with mechanics work, social media, program management, sponsorship obligations, the whole deal. You're getting a chance to see it all and learn from the best in the sport. And the connections that you make are invaluable. I cannot stress that enough about the number of connections that we're able to help all of these guys make in the sport. It's pretty remarkable. And Brad, you can attest to that as well, having seen it kind of firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Like, you can say what you want about Supercross or Arena Cross being sort of like the minor leagues a little bit, but honestly, like, imagine your ability to get so up close and personal with a sport that you love so much, and the inclusivity, and like just you get to smell the fumes, and you get to basically put your face in it. When it comes to Arena Cross, and especially you got the guidance of a guy like Jeff Crutcher, who is absolutely zany and hilarious, and he wants people to have a great time. And I don't think that there's a better way, honestly, to take part in the collective experience than going exactly through Arena Cross. Because although going to Supercross races and Nationals is really cool, the level of access that you're going to get and the experience you're going to get is honestly, like, you can't offer the same experience with a Supercross than there is with the arena cross. Like they've loosened the law for arena cross as far as what you're able to do and the places you're able to go. And like, although it might not be Eli Tomac and the other, like the top guys in the sport, still really what they do in the access.
Oh, for sure. You said it perfectly. The access you get in arena cross is it's second to none, especially right now when everything is so restricted and closed off because of COVID-19. So as we're doing track maintenance, we want to thank you guys again for tuning in to our watch party. We're going to be doing these pretty regularly while we have these Tuesday races. I think it's a great option for us to be able to, chat with you guys. For me and Brad to bench race, get off our cell phones and see each other a little bit. And it makes it fun. So please be sure to leave us a comment in the chat. I'm not sure if you can comment below, but leave us a comment in the chat. Let us know, what you guys think. If the quality's bad, if, we should talk more about certain things, what you want to see. If our background suck, like mine probably does, because I'm in the living room. Let me know what you guys think. Send us your questions. This is the first run that we're doing at this. It's a dry run. We appreciate you guys bearing with us as we work out the kinks and the bugs, and we try to figure out what cadence works. We're gonna kick this off and hopefully make it better for you guys week in and week out. So we got a question from John Scott. Let's see. Should tracks be tamed down in order to mitigate all the injuries the riders are having? Now, this is quite a cool topic. So Brad kind of gave you the abridged version. I'm going to say, long story short, no. What they should do is maybe build a lot of the obstacles up a little bit more so that actually forces the riders to slow down. Now, if you talk to some of the Supercross racers themselves, they'll tell you, they're like, man, you know what? The whoops are so treacherous because they're not like they used to be in the years of James Stewart, Ryan Dungey, Villapoto, Carmichael. Those whoops were treacherous, and now they've shortened them to get those speeds up, and with higher speed comes bigger crashes, right? So I think what they need to do is really go back to the drawing board in terms of making the steepness of the jumps, the peakiness, the size of the whoops, the corners being a little bit more tweaked. I think all of that would play into some better Supercross racing. If you look at the past, Brad, you and I have been fans of the sport forever. There's some shots of Anaheim back in the early 2000s, late 90s. They had jumps that were so freaking massive that, like, I think people tend to forget about that. We've tamed that stuff down. Instead of going up like this, being super peaky, everything's kind of tipped down, and the speeds are just so fast that we're seeing guys get hurt from the smallest things. So I think, Brad, if you agree or disagree, let me know. I think if we built the tracks up a little bit more like they used to be, I think we'd see a lot less crashes.
Absolute. I think it's the obligation of Supercross to go back and watch some of the best layouts that there's been in the past, going back to the late 90s, early 2000s, when Supercross basically started to look the way it does today. And I think they should go back to a lot of those things. Like, you look at the size and the steepness of some of the whoops that we dealt with, or that we didn't deal with, but like that we saw in the early 2000s. Those things were absolute widowmakers, and the bikes being so much more capable, I don't see why we couldn't go back to stuff like that. And this might not be a popular opinion, but I would say, like, we don't need Supercross triples. Why is there a Supercross like the triple is no longer an obstacle that works in Supercross. It's 65 feet. The guys can jump it in first gear. Like, put something else there. It's got, like, make it an on-off, make it an option, make it something else. You know what I mean? I think there's got to be something else. They take up a ton of dirt to do it. I would also be a proponent that Supercross needs more dirt at these events. I see a ton of opportunities in certain places where they don't use the dirt enough, or often, like, they, you know what I mean? Like, I think that there's always spots where I wish there was a little bit more dirt here or a little more dirt there. But I would totally agree. I think peak out these jumps even more, make it more challenging, make it more technical, because races like that tighten everything up. And if if you do have something that separates guys, that's when you start to create things that are more spectacular, like what we used to see from James Stewart all the time.
Oh, 100%. And Matt Davis asks us about the sand sections. I personally think the sand sections are pretty rad. Yeah, they take out a lot of the riders, you know, because they're going so freaking fast. You'll see a lot of riders going down in qualifying. I think it adds an element of, I guess, badassery, for lack of a better word, kind of your separator, right? We saw Eli absolutely dominate that outside line in the third round, I believe it was in Houston. Other guys were going down on the inside line. They were getting knocked over pretty easily. So I think it kind of separates the men from the boys, the good from the bad. I think it's pretty sick. Brad, what are your thoughts on sand? Do you like it, or is it like a mud race to you?
Well, honestly, for me, people say, "Oh, like take it out," because people always crash. Like people always crash in the whoops. They don't take those things out. Like a sand section in the track, it's another obstacle. Like you got to learn how to go in there properly. Like it's a kind of ever changing thing, and maybe you can't just go in there wide open and push the front like Martin Davalos. I think that. I like to see sand sections. I like to see them more in a straightaway rather than in a big bowl corner, even though that usually creates some really, really cool photos. But I think one of the coolest photos that I've seen in Supercross was actually from a sand section. I think it was at one of the Texas rounds. I think it was Dallas in 2005, where like the sun had just started coming in, and Carmichael was all backlit, and there was all these crepuscular rays kind of going off of him, and the sand flying everywhere. Really, really cool shot. I think that was a Simon Cudby photo from back then. Referencing a 16-year-old photo right now. But either way, yeah, I think it would be really cool to have those types of sections back, and I see no problem with them whatsoever.
Yeah, I like to see, you know, it'd be really cool is if they brought back the tracks from 2005, 2004, 2006, like that'd be really cool to bring those back. I know we tried that.
Like, honestly, like especially like certain spots. Like remember, people always talk about like Indy 09 or whatever, or like Toronto 2014. Like, why don't they just build that layout again? Like,
yeah, you know,
layout.
a lot of people say, oh, well, we can't do it again. And I'm like, you know, half the guys that were racing there, they're not there anymore. Yeah, they're all half of those guys are retired, and half these guys were going back then. Exactly.
We've been racing hangtowns since the 70s.
Exactly. Shout out to Miss Krista Ferguson, the monster girl that we see on the screen right there. Krista is one of the coolest people ever. And we're probably I'll see if I can get her on one of these calls to chat with all of you guys so that we can get some cool insider information from Monster Girl. So yeah, definitely look for her in our vlogs, and we're gonna get her on for some cool content as we watch the drop of the LCQ gate. I'm praying, please God, let Fleming get in. I really need Fleming to get in there and have a good ride. I need those points. I need those points.
Because, dude, Oldenburg's going to get in and Lawrence is going to get in. So there's really two spots up for grabs here. Oh, wait, Oldenburg's not going in.
Yeah, no, Oldenburg pushes bike out. Yep. Which is a bummer. Oldenburg is such a solid dude. Come on, Oldenburg.
Yeah.
Fleming, let's go. Come on,
He
Fleming.
was on my Sunday team.
And you know what's crazy? I'm looking at it now. Fleming, Salt, and Kemperis and Meshi are all such solid dudes. It's going to be very difficult to get by those guys. So I don't know, man. I've got my doubts about Fleming being able to do anything. He's got 4 minutes to do so. So let's hope.
No, he's out, dude. I guarantee Sanford's got a better chance of getting in than here. You know who's going to go down though? Is fucking Meshi. Meshi's going to relinquish that spot to.
We just saw Sales go down. So looks like Fleming is in 6.
Pay off for me on Saturday.
Wait, so you've got Sales in the LCQ?
No, I said he's going to pay off for me on Saturday in Pulp Next Fantasy. He's not going to make the main. Hunter Sales went down, and he's still
I'm really hoping.
he's still ahead of Fleming.
Come on, Fleming. Please, dude. Just get in. I just need you to get in, buddy. I just need the points. I don't need 1 million. Just give me like 20. Give me 20. I'll be happy.
No, this is what you get.
You know what?
Taking lane shot.
Yeah, but it's, you know what happens? I like, for example, I'll give you Moran's. Moran's had 2 or 3 extremely solid showings, consistently the LCQ winner. Guy was solid. The weekend I picked him, he won 30th. You know what I mean? And the guy that I was like, oh, I shouldn't pick. Yeah, and it happens. It keeps happening like that to the point where it's like, you know what? I don't even know anymore, dude. Like, I don't know who to pick because all these guys seem like they're so all over the board.
That's part of PulpMX Fantasy, though, man. It's really, really challenging sometimes because you get on the bad weekend of a guy, like you have him when he's bad, and then the next weekend he's good. So, but you couldn't pick him. So then you go back to the well and see if you can get him again, and then he's bad again. Like, I don't know. Fleming 5th right now.
Yeah, but he's got Sales hot on his ass, so.
Sales and like Meshi's gonna get fucking sent into the cheap seats if he's not careful.
Unless they both get Meshi and they get around Camporis, then I don't know. But Camporis is a pretty solid guy right now.
Lorenzo Camporisi. That just sounds like someone who can go fast. He sounds like an F1 driver.
He sounds like somebody that would crush it at the Redders.
Yeah, probably. Sales just got Fleming, or at least on my TV. I probably have it a half hour ago for you.
And Fleming is they're gapping him a little bit. So unless they put Camporis on their ass and Meshi as well,
they moved that tough block that gave Freezy and Webb troubles. They moved that kind of weird looking orb tough block thingy.
They kind of had to. But you know, there's so much parity right now. Come on, get Camporis, park him, and then let's move forward. Oh, Sales and Meshi. Oh, wow.
Are you gonna get in here?
I think I just see. This is what I'm talking about. It always ends up like this. See, I would have picked Hunter Sales and been like, oh, that's an easy win. But then you do it. Stuff like this happens. So you know what? I'm not even happy about Fleming because it's just pure luck. There was nothing. Yeah, there's no type of like assessment. It's all luck when you pick the 250 LCQ. And I'm not even gonna get excited because Fleming could throw this all away. I'm not getting excited.
To me right now, like Wilson. Wilson could Fleming could still eat shit. But
yeah, I'm not even gonna celebrate until the checkered flag because I really can't. Like at this point, the dude in 19th could come up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna come out there and win and do something crazy. So who knows?
Well, the only guy you'd be kind of worried about right now is Saltz, because I think even if Fleming has a tip over, he's not getting. Geisler's not getting him. How about Bobby Piazza rides a 450 for the first 2 rounds, rides a 250 in the 3rd round, makes the main event, and then he hasn't had a sniff since.
Again, that plays right to my point. This is the most inconsistent class. Literally, you could go down the roster for fantasy and say, pick one random guy with a 16 handicap, and boom, that's the guy that's gonna make it in. Next weekend, no chance in hell. So it's so up and down. No, I want to jumping off of fantasy for a little bit. Is Lawrence, who's going to take the checker flag here, is he riding hurt? Like, do you think that he's like in a tremendous amount of pain right now?
Yeah, no, his shoulder's fucked. His shoulder's fucked. I don't know if they even allow it, but he probably got a pain shot. He's just literally cruising around right now.
Yeah, he looks like he's laboring as Fleming gets in.
And honestly, it will totally depend on his. It'll depend on his pain tolerance. I don't know that I don't know that I like him to finish the main event.
Yeah, that's going to be tough
Like,
for a kid like
15
him.
minutes.
Yeah, that's got to be extremely
Fleming gets in there.
painful.
Good for you, Dave.
Okay, so we got 8. We're both 8 for 8.
Yeah, he's really good.
So we're feeling good. Now we've got the 450, LCQ. Now I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Who do you think has been your standout privateer 450 rider? With the collective experience, we always love to highlight privateers and guys that you really might not hear of on the regular broadcast. We love the hardworking, just blue collar guys of the sport. And one guy, like for me, I'll say, I'm really surprised with Cade Clayson. He's a buddy of mine, but still, trying to be as unbiased as I can. I did not expect him to be 5th, 6th in an LCQ, 22nd in qualifying, 26th in qualifying. Running up front in a lot of these. His Group B qualifying. He looked like he was a solid spot in the main the heat race for a while. He's really surprising me this year. I want to hear from you guys who you think has been a standout privateer 450 rider. Brad, has there been one guy for you that's kind of stood up above the rest for 450 privateers?
I think you hit the nail on the head with Clayson. He won last year's Pulpamex Privateer Challenge, so he was sort of the best of the guys who didn't make it in to any main events last year. And I think that's why he ended up there, is because he didn't end up 4th or better in any of the LCQs last year. But he shows up all the time. He's got speed. He's made plenty of main events in the past. I think the guy that probably sticks out the most to me, who he's a privateer, but he's a high performing privateer in Chisholm. Like, Kyle Chisholm is probably going to get 17th tonight in a field full of factory back guys, and he's it's Team Chiz Racing. He's literally going racing with his dad's wallet in his back pocket. Like, that is fucking cool. And he just he buys a Yamaha 6 weeks ago, starts riding. He's doing great. Other guys of note that kind of stick out to me. Justin Starling doing it all on his own from Florida, and I wouldn't be surprised if tonight in the 450 class you see the reemergence of the milestone assassin of Nick Schmidt. I think he's due to make it into a main event.
Yeah, so Nick Schmidt is one guy that I've had the chance to hang around at the races this year, and he's super fun. The energy around him almost reminds me of like an Adam Ensignap, where he's just loose, just a little loony, likes to have fun, keeps it light. The guy's got a little swagger to him, which is super cool. Plus, his music choices much better than most teams. He likes contemporary stuff, so that's always a plus. I like the team he's on. All South. They're all on Huskies. Very light energy. They're performance driven. They're professional, but they keep things light and fun. And it's so hard, Brad. You know that it's so hard to find a team that is lighthearted, likes to have fun, but still professional. You either get one or the other. Either they're not a shot's chance in hell of doing anything, or they're so professional you can't even stand to be near them. I think it says a lot when a team can be both, when they can be professional and strive for results, but also know how to keep it fun, which is what we all got in this sport to do anyway, right? So you got to get up to them for sure.
Is that the same team All South that has Josh Greco underneath the tent?
Yes, and he plays into that a lot. That lightheartedness, Josh Greco is most.
He's the ultimate in lightheartedness. Yes. That's we can say that about Mr. Greco there. Like, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he took a Hooters girl home last night.
So about that, his girlfriend actually works at Hooters. His chick? Yes. So she's working the local Hooters while they're in Indy. She's working a few shifts. She transferred stores just because she's going to be in Indy for so long. So, but yeah, it definitely looks like that. Like, if you didn't know him, you would think this guy took a Hooters girl home.
I was wondering, because I was like, I thought he had a chick, and then he posted she's wearing the shorts and whatnot.
So the cool part about that is that he's got a, if no one knows Josh Greco, he has a dog with him. So I think it's like his magnet for chicks. He has an adorable dog, and he just says, "Hey, come see my dog." And boom, a couple hours later, they're walking out of the mobile home going, "What the hell happened?" With consent, I'll say that.
Yeah, like the conquest, like that. If he doesn't write a book when this is all said and done, it's
gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's like wild.
Okay, we have the start of the 450 LCQ. I don't know what the heck Catanzaro's doing. AJ, come on, dude. But look at that. We've got Bubba Pauly, Cade Clayson.
I haven't even dropped yet, but I guess.
Oh, come on, Cade. Come on, Cade. So this is actually really good. We've got a lot of guys that deserve to be up front who are up front. Now, Bubba Pauly and Joanne Cross, a lot of people don't know those two names. That's a name that we talked about earlier, the International Supercross race team. These guys are solid guys. Like they improved.
Supercross or motocross champ from Spain. He's Spain's Supercross champion.
Yeah, and the guy, like, they improved so much over the last couple of seasons. It's pretty freaking remarkable, man. Like they are very, very good Supercross racers, and it's pretty awesome to see them, like, making a name for themselves.
Yeah, so Hartranft's going to get in here, and then I think it's going to be Gardner, Ray, and probably Enticknap. My question to you is, who out of those three guys is actually going to race in the main event? Ray? I know you love yourself some Adam Enticknap.
I do, man. That's my guy, man. Adam is such my guy.
That was fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
Then tell your guy to ride in the main event, because he was down by 2 fucking laps and at one point put in a 1:28 lap time.
Like we keep saying, fitness is the last piece of the puzzle for a lot of these guys. Once they do make it into main events and they become that solid main guy, getting it up into the decent lap times, lap after lap after lap, it wears on them. So usually fitness is that second part of the pie. So I think with Adam, we're going to start to see that the more that he starts to believe in himself and the more he runs up front in these LCQs or transfers directly out of the heats, I think we're going to see the fitness level start to just tack up and keep going up higher and higher and higher. We've got Clayson that is just behind Hartranft, and I wonder if Clayson can do it, man. Like, he looks so much more put together and composed than years past. Like, I would love to see what this guy can do. As we got A-Ray and Bubba Pauly battling a little bit, and A-Ray gets around Bubba Pauly. I would love to see Pauly get in as well, man. Like, that would be so cool to see Pauly in.
I think Pauly's going to move back. I think the only way Clayson gets in is if he passes Pauly.
And it looks like right here, Hartranft
and Ray. I must be so far fucking behind you.
I'd say you're about like 3 or 4 seconds. Come on, cut it down. There you go.
On my TV, Ray is still behind Pauly.
Oh, okay.
Or not anymore. But now, yeah, they've switched just now.
Yeah, you're about 10 seconds.
But like, how much time is left in the race for you?
1:27.
Yeah, I got 1:51.
Oh, wow. You're a bit a ways. You're a bit down for me. And we're delayed even more
30
so.
seconds on.
We're delayed 20 seconds on the live as well. So that's different. So it looks like a lot of guys in the chat are rooting for Clayson, like A-Ray to Clayson. Yeah, they're saying, come on, Clayson. We agree with you guys. Like John Scott, we agree with you, man. We want to see Clayson out there kicking butt and doing great, man. That would be super cool to see that. Shout out to SGB Racing, the team that supports Alex Ray. Yeah. It's a good group. Those guys put out some amazing suspension. If you guys are looking for suspension work, you're looking to get your Cowies set up, Huskies, KTMs, Hondas, doesn't matter. These are your guys.
Yeah, I'd like to see Clayson on who's down. I'd like to see Clayson on the SGB Kawasaki.
Oh, looks like Catanzaro's out. What happened to AJ? Did he go down?
Down in his vagina.
Oh, that's such a bummer. Oh, and Clayson makes the pass on Paulie, and they're colliding back and forth. So let's see what happens. Paulie's going back after Clayson. I think Paulie wants his bad, man. I know he's been working his ass off. Same with Cade in the offseason.
Gardner getting in.
And now you got Starling. Oh, Paulie, keep it on two wheels, buddy. This is actually a really good LCQ. This is one that that's really been a culmination of hard work and this putting the time in for Clayson, man. Oh, as Paulie makes a mistake.
Starling could get in here. Starling could get in here.
He very well could. We haven't heard Starling's name mentioned a lot this year, huh?
No, he's got an ankle issue that he's dealing with, but he's looking racy right now. Like, if he gets past Paulie, I think he's faster than Clayson. But Clayson looks like he's going to get in here finally.
Don't count chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, Starling
we still have the whoops to go. And you know, the LCQ, that last turn is brutal, Brad. How many times have you seen guys just get railroaded in that last turn?
Who did they have the medic flag out for?
I hope it's not AJ, man. I feel really bummed if that was a medic flag for AJ. And it looks like Cade got in, man. Cade's in.
Cade plays in.
Oh, finally. Look how happy the dude is. A-Ray and
Not a lot of guys would have had him in the
so Gardner took that win. Shout out to Colin Gardner rocking the blue Flow Vision goggles. If you guys have not known, we have been sponsored by Flow Vision for the last couple of years. Some of the coolest designs, best quality goggles on the market. And they're supporting us big time every year. They support the privateers. They support the grassroots racers and amateurs. And guys, please check out Flow Vision goggles. I can't tell you how much they've come through for the collective, and their products they're really affordable and their quality. I sweat like a pig. I go through goggles at least one pair every couple months, but with Flow Vision, I can keep a pair of goggles all season, multiple seasons. They've been solid, and I'm going to get Brad a pair so he's forced to wear them as well. So, Matt Davis
you've been saying that forever.
No, I know I owe you a care package once we open up and stuff like that. So don't worry, it's coming your way. Matt Davis says good LCQ.
You can't put them in the mail?
I'm going to send it to you regardless. Stop, leave me alone. You're going to get your stuff. You'll get it. Don't worry.
We have nothing but main events left. Does the racing night not go by too fast?
When you're watching it?
Yeah, like when you're watching it, you finally get to the main events. Like you almost like it's like when you're eating something that's like really good, and you're like, damn, like there's only so much left.
Yeah, I agree. I will say, I had like if I was at the race right now, it would feel like I'm on like on heat race number 2 for the 450s. Like I swear, like I don't know if it's because you're running back and forth from the tunnel to the pits, upstairs, back downstairs, the rig, back and forth, or if it's because I don't know, this just being there, time is just feels different. But yeah, the night is going by pretty quick for me, which I mean, I'm not gonna complain. This is pretty nice being able to sit here on my couch, comfortable watching the race. I'm not complaining in the least bit.
Yeah. So what do we think for the main event? Like, I know guys like Ray and Gardner and Clayson. How are those guys gonna sort out?
I think Cade is going to do what maybe we saw Etignat do, where he gets out, runs his race, but gets a little gas towards the 3/4 mark. I think the fact that Cade's in to the main, I wish he would have did it on a night that I could have recorded him doing it and got him on the vlog. That would have been great. But whatever. We have Saturday to do it, right? I think he's gonna get gassed just a little bit, just from the excitement of being there. And I think this just being in the main is a goal for Cade. So I don't think he's really too concerned about, hey, I want to go out there and be top 16. I think he's like, you know what? Mission accomplished. We're in a main. This feels phenomenal. This feels great. Now, next weekend, we can worry about, let's go the whole duration without getting tired. Let's go for the top 18. Let's go for the top 16, what have you.
Fair enough. What about between him and A-Ray, who's finishing higher in the main?
I'd say A-Ray, only because he's more used to it. Like he's been in so many main events this season that I don't think he's really phased by being in the main event. You know what I mean? Where the nerves won't get to him. I think Clayton, the nerves are going to get to him a little. So there's a little bit because it's been a minute since he's been in there, right? So give him some time.
Main event that he's made since his suspension.
It could be. Let's find out. I think it is.
I think it is because he came back last year. He didn't race the year prior, and he was suspended. And then he didn't make any last year. This is the first time since Cade Clason's suspension that he's back on the races. That's pretty cool.
Sorry, texting Cade really quick. Congratulations on the race. Yeah, I think it is the first one since the suspension. So.
Dude,
oof.
I was this close to texting him on the last lap when Gardner got him a couple of weeks ago, and I just about text him, be like, hey, shout out to you, buddy, that's awesome, and then he gets taken out on the last lap.
I know what a bummer that was, man. And he had such a good race going, except for that last lap. That last lap really did him in, man. He went backwards in a big way. Such a
Science of Supercross. How cool was it to see Bubba Pauly on the Science of Supercross? That was pretty awesome.
That was really neat, man. Like a guy like Bubba Pauly gets very limited TV time, right? So to see that is great, man. I had no idea he was training kids.
Yeah, they really did it.
Really good job.
Yeah, they made a star out of him, so that was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Such a solid guy, such a good guy. I mean, helping out the Groms of the sport, nothing better than that, right? Sharing the gift of racing with people that you really don't get a chance to interact with that much, like kids and stuff like that. These guys are on the scene racing so much, they don't get a chance to interact with the everyday rider. So I'm sure the kids that are learning from him are so ecstatic about that,
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Tony Cutler joining us. Tony, what's up, man? Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in all the way from New Zealand. We appreciate that. I'm glad to see your buddy Cade Clayton get in the main. So shout out to Tony. Tony's been a supporter of the collective for years now, since its the first inception of the program, and he's been able to do the program quite frequently and get a chance to meet a lot of these pro riders and have a personal relationship with them because the program is so immersive. So shout out to Tony, and thanks for being a huge supporter of us always. I didn't tell you, Brad. I'll make the announcement here. We've got some exclusive merch dropping very, very soon. So I'll have to add that to the care package list. It's not an exact secret, but we're dropping it. It's coming another couple of weeks. You'll see it up on Instagram being promoted, and we'll also throw it up on the website for everybody to grab. Very limited, very exclusive drop of our merch. So please be sure to check it out.
All right, that's cool. I like that. I think that's really that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh shit! You still got me?
Yeah. Yep. Gotcha.
All right. That's awesome, dude. What made you want to bring out some merch?
Honestly, thanks to Chris O'Connor, she's been a huge supporter of the program, being extremely, extremely helpful. She kind of hooked me up with just getting the stuff printed, getting some cool unique things going on. Oh God, what room of the house are we in right now?
What?
This freaking guy. Anyway, while Brad is making a cup of coffee, you can hear the water being put into the pot. Yeah, I definitely wanted to get some merch out there. I feel like I always leave the fans with like, they're always like, hey, we just did the program. We want to get some commemorative things from the collective. We give them a bunch of stuff, but nothing actually they can wear that says the collective on it. So figured I'd make sure you wash your hands. Figured I'd give the fans what they want, give our supporters some love, and get some merch going. So it should be pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, so go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, John Scott. It looks like he's an engineer. Also, he wants some background on Harley. So yeah, John. After high school, I wanted to get more immersed in the sport. So I went to mechanic school, became a race mechanic for a pro women's race team for a while. Did my own motor builds and my own race shop.
Really? Like moto, women's moto?
Yeah, WMX
Who'd
racers.
you rent?
Jenna Smith, a little bit for Marissa Marquand. Did a little bit for Sade Allender, and then I built motors for local pros and stuff like that. And then I was like, you know what, this is cool, but I want to do a little bit more, right? I want to figure out how these things are made. So I went back to school, went to engineering school, graduated in 2015, and yeah, right when I was getting ready to graduate, a few of my buddies were like, hey, there's a career fair out in California. They've got some really cool things for engineers. I was like, you know what, never been to Cali, let's try it. Went there, and they had some Harley recruiters. I interviewed with them, told them about my background in racing and engines and stuff like that, and they offered me a job on the spot, which is super cool. So I've been with them for about 5 years now, and it's been awesome, man. It's been really fun learning. I was on their chassis development team for a little while, going to the various racetracks and being in charge of the way the chassis handle, setting requirements for the bikes. I spent pretty much every day in a hotel, so I'd fly out Monday to go test and develop our prototype bikes. And then I would leave the test track, go home, switch suitcases on a Friday evening. I would leave for Supercross races and do it all over again the next week. So yeah, definitely it was tough. Shout out to Surge Unlimited checking in. Billy Freeman, one of the probably most prolific film videographers you'll probably meet. He reminds me that I built motors for my buddies when we were racing, and they ended up whooping my ass with those exact same motors that I built for them. So it ended up working out really good. But if you guys didn't know, Surge Unlimited actually got a chance to film at Baker's Factory. They've been filming for Baker's Factory, J-Day. They filmed for some corporate KTM stuff. So guys, check out Surge Unlimited on Instagram. Check out their YouTube channel. And if you guys need anything in terms of really high-end videos, they are the place to go. Brad and I need to get our skills up if we ever hope to be on camera with the lights at Surge Unlimited. But hell, we're going to try it, Brad, and we're going to see if we can do some cool Insta bangers, right?
Hell yeah. Well, like, if those guys, like, they're the real talent. Like, it's those guys are who make you look good. You know what I mean? And like, I'm curious, how many people are actually watching this right now?
We've got 11 people.
11 people just watched me take a piss. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But no, this is what I had to go. I didn't want to like walk away from my from the live, and I think that was kind of funny-ish, I guess. But no, you've got a really cool story in the sport, man. Like the fact that you've been so passionate and so dedicated to it, and really consistent. I think that's more of the most understated thing is the consistency you've been able to have over the years, and it's really starting to pay off for you, man.
I hope so. What about you, dude? You've been very
watching in the swag.
No, you had a pretty cool career through the sport too, dude. Commentating, starting Big MX Radio. I mean, dude, come on, you're crushing it. As we see the lovely Miss Krista Ferguson on the screen one more time. Shout out to Krista, my favorite monster girl of all time. Such a good buddy. And trust, we're gonna get her on one of these things so that we can chat with her. Please believe it. Yeah, but Brad, you've been crushing it, dude. You've been doing some amazing things. So like, nothing to snicker at. You've been dude, your pod is killer. Your All of your commentating is amazing. Your content's phenomenal. So don't sell yourself short.
Do you think that all these people? Do you think the viewers are following me on Instagram yet?
They should. If they aren't, they're missing out. Big MX Radio. Check him out on Instagram. Such amazing, hilarious content. You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah, good times on social. I love putting things out there. What comes up, but you know what? Like, Supercross is an amazing sport. It's given me so much over the years. I got a question for you though, Dave.
Yes.
You're a motocross historian. I wonder if I could ask you a bit of a trivia question, see how you do this. This one's pretty difficult though.
Oh boy, you know I do horrible at moto trivia. Come on.
It'll be too difficult.
All right, let's try it.
And I won't even bother asking.
You sure?
At what track? Yeah. At what track was the CRF 450 ever the first time it podiumed a moto? That particular motorcycle, the first podium moto on a CR 450.
Was it?
I'll give you a hint. It was not in 2000.
Not in 2003.
No.
Oh, that was the year the bike came out, wasn't it?
That is the year the bike came out.
Was it in Supercross?
It was not in Supercross. No one raced in Supercross that year.
I was gonna say. Oh, actually, you know what? Hangtown. 2004, right?
No. It's 2002. Mike LaRocco at Southwick.
Wait, the CRF 450?
CRF 450.
2002?
2002.
Oh, the early release.
Yeah, this is the. I guess they would have been riding the 20. Is it because of the Hey, you know what? I think actually that bike might have come out. I think that bike came out in 02.
Interesting.
Nobody raced in the Supercross.
Yeah. I don't picture Mike LaRocco. When I picture him, it's that still at Amsoil CR 250.
Mm-hmm. That's because I think he was Supercross only after that year.
I can't blame him. Oh boy, Jet is not racing tonight. Such an absolute bummer.
Surprise.
Such an absolute bummer, man. You know the guy is just gutted.
That's gonna. I had him selected on multiple fantasy teams, and that's gonna fuck so many people over.
I agree. Man, that's such a bummer for that kid, man. For a kid that's that passionate about racing, like, holy crap, man. What an absolute bummer.
How livid would you be if you had a guy in the 250 LCQ that got fifth?
I would cry.
And
I would absolutely. Oh, I would be fifth.
Well, like fifth, but like because he's not racing, there's an open spot. They're not going to give it to the guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Are you eating ice cream?
Do we have more? Let's ask some more questions. No, it's like oatmeal kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm on the fitness train, bro. Let's get some more questions from the viewers.
Yeah, guys, throw us your questions.
Even if it's trivia questions.
Even if it's what kind of questions?
Even if it's trivia, it'd be interesting to see if either one of us know it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, throw us your questions, guys. Let us know if you want to hear like, industry talk. You want Brad to do something crazier. Do you have trivia questions for us? Do you have questions about either one of our businesses? Like, let us know what you guys want to hear. Also, leave us your feedback on how you think this live is going. We want to make these better. We're looking for feedback. Do you guys want better sound quality, better visuals? I know my background sucks. This is our first dry run, so we're looking for as much feedback from you guys as possible on how we can make this a little bit
Why
better.
didn't you do a background?
So I was gonna do it upstairs. Yeah, I was gonna do it upstairs in the office where I have the cool backdrop, the helmets and stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to be lazy and sit on the couch, so I think I might do the pretty Zoom background for the next one and figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, like just make it. You should do it so that you're like the background is like stadium seating, so it looks like you're at the race.
Actually, so I can get a picture of the stadium seats this weekend. So yeah, I'll do that.
There you go.
I'll do that. That'll be pretty cool. We'll make it work.
It'll be funny. It'll look like you're sitting in the stands.
Exactly. Exactly. We're getting ready for the 250 main. Guys, again, thank you very much for tuning in with us. We want to keep doing these watch parties pretty frequently during the week of Supercross. I personally will be at the races quite a bit this season, but not every single one. So for the ones that I won't be at, we're going to be doing these watch parties on our YouTube channel. Be sure to spread the word and let us know what you guys want to see, what you guys want us to chat about. Send us your questions, your comments, your feedback. We want to do some cool stuff, and we want to do some cool giveaways. So you know what, Brad? Let's do a giveaway, dude. I'm sitting on a ton of FXR merch. I want to commemorate. This is our very first live. So guys, I want to throw out a trivia question. Brad, I'll leave this up to you, and the winner will select from this live chat to win some stuff. So Brad, why don't you hit us off with a trivia question, and let's see who the first person is to get the trivia question right. We'll send them an FXR swag bag littered with some cool FXR merch. Brad, you pick.
How hard are we making the question?
Not too hard, but also not too easy either.
Okay. What year did Eli Tomac turn professional in motocross?
Okay.
What year?
Just put up in the chat.
Eli Tomac, professional motocross.
What year did Eli Tomac turn pro in motocross? Tony says 2011. I feel like it was 2010.
I think it was 2010.
Double check. We'll leave it up to the trivia master to fact check us. Tony says 2011. Any other takers? Does anyone else think that they know when Eli Tomac turned pro in motocross for a free swag bag courtesy of their friends at FXR? Matt Davis says 2010. What are you thinking, Brad? What's the correct answer?
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Oh, okay. Main event just went off for the 250s. Oh, no. And Swaggy Joe Shimoda is down, dude. Such a bummer. Oh, no. John Shore. 2010. So sorry, Tony, but Matt Davis got it right. Tony, we're going to hook you up with some cool stuff throughout the year anyway, because we love you, buddy. Matt Davis, you win. If you can, please send me a DM on Instagram at the Collective EX, or contact at thecollectivexp.com. Or I don't know if you can you send messages on YouTube? I'm not even sure. But reach out to me, to the Collective Experience, and we're going to get you that swag bag. I'll leave the contact email up for you right here.
Mosman making moves. Nichols.
Okay,
Moran.
so let's see. How are we looking for fantasy? Oh, no. So John Short is screwing me right now with that being out. Oh, no. John Short is out. No. Why?
Wilson Fleming's in 12th. He's a 52 for you right now.
Yeah, that's not going to stay like that.
Wait,
So I've got
in the race.
8 points. I've got 8 points right now.
Dude, did Oldenburg somehow get like a provisional?
Yeah, how does that work?
What am I looking at right now? He didn't race the LCQ and he's out there right now.
So Carnell's got me 52. Harlan's got me 46. Wilson's got me 46. And John Short's got me 8 points. Better than 0.
Kern Thurman has me at like 40. Osby needs to move forward, but he's not on my team. Moran's in Harlan right now. Yes. Wilson Fleming's going backwards. I should have put Nice on my team. Can't have all the points though, Brad.
I don't know. At this point, dude, it's like
Nichols. You should have picked the guys that I picked. That's who you should have picked.
Yeah, that it's going to be.
I told you to pick. I told you to pick Thurman, and you went Fleming.
Yeah,
and
you did. You did.
Smarter than you right now. Who cares? Right now, Wilson Fleming's a 52. What are you complaining about?
Because I could have had extra points.
Yeah, you should have put in Thurman rather than Short.
Well, I mean, Short was solid, dude. Short's been so consistently in the top 10 the last couple of rounds. So it was almost like, why not, you know?
Yeah. My mind is blown by the fact that Mitchell Oldenburg's in this race right now.
Which I don't understand how that's possible.
No. It's not. Grant Harlan and Moran's just like flying the flag for Big MX Radio Fantasy, bro. 6th and 7th.
Yeah, Harlan's doing me good. Logan's doing me good. Wilson's doing me good. I just really, really need John Short to go up there and ride in circles or something, man.
That's not good. Just looking at some names right now. Luhovi, he's paying off. Miller is kind of paying off. Harriman's paying off like crazy. Same thing with Lane Shaw. If anybody picked Lorenzo Camparisi, you're printing money right now. Carnow in 10th, that's huge. He's maxing out right now.
Brad, it looks like Tony's got 149 points right now. As they stand right now, Tony has how? See, I don't. Tony and everyone else has luck that I have.
It can be everyone done else, right now. Right now, I'm sitting at 252. 6 is 130. I'm right now. I'm sitting at 170 points. 166.
Let's see. As it stands, I'm sitting at.
And someone's gonna eat shit and die, and hopefully it's not Thurman. Like Thurman might be able to get.
So I'm sitting at 158 right now, but it's not going to end up like that.
That's your problem.
It's not going to end up like that. I know for a fact I'm not going to get excited in the least because I know that 158 is going to turn into like 40 something guaranteed, where Tony is going to stay at 150 and then amass it's probably going to be like a 290 night for him where I'm going to go home with like a 100. So Tony's a man like that.
Two points, Moran's, but yeah. Carnell still in 10th. You might move back a little bit. I think Varese gets them.
Miller.
With 8 minutes for me anyway. With 8:45 to go, Carnell's in 10th. If he fades, how far back does he fade? Does he go back to 15th?
I would say 3 spots. Osby's no slouch though.
Yeah, Osby's coming.
Oh wow, Miller had a gnarly little get off there, and that allowed. Wow, Miller got off to a really, and then that allows Nichols to get by Moseman.
Oh fuck. I hate that for Max Miller.
And Oldenburg's running around again.
Oh!
What is happening?
Literally, Max Miller took like engine cases to the face.
What is going on with Oldenburg?
What? You go down?
Shit. No, he pulled off the track. He's just running around, just doing nothing really. So Tony bumped up to 155. Anyone else playing pulp on the chat? Anyone else playing along with us?
Oh yeah, something wrong with Oldenburg's bike, and he's off the track. That doesn't help my Send It team, but it helps the rest of my guys. Thurman up to 17th. Love it. Should have picked Harriman though. Fuck.
Man, look at yeah, Miller took the foot peg right to the noggin.
I think I maxed out everything right now. I didn't pick a first lap leader. But yeah, I'm at 172.
Wow. Oh wow, Harlan moved up, so that wow. So I'm at 150, 160 something.
I'm at 172.
But of course, it's not going to stay that way.
Why are you being negative? You're like Mr. Positivity.
No, that's the only time I get negative because dude, I've been screwed over so bad by my pulp picks. I don't trust my picks. Every time I get a little bit of joy, boom, I'm back to like all of them get taken out or something. So I'm not even gonna be joyous quite yet.
I think I need Camporese to eat shit.
So looking at the front of the race, we've got Shimoda that somehow made his way back up to 4th. That was an awesome way to get through the slower riders behind him. But only thing is he's got a 26-second deficit.
In this class, he should be no worse than 4th.
I agree with you. With this coast, the way things are looking, I agree with you. Man, Moseman looks so good. Gas.
There are only 4 factory back guys in this race right now.
Yeah, but
I guess you can include Short.
Yeah, but he's out. But Moseman on that gas, those bikes look so stable for these guys, and that stability might come from the fact that those bikes are just a little bit more compliant than some of the other ones, which is kind of weird to think of a bike that's a little bit more flexy, allowing you to be a little bit more planted, kind of counterintuitive if you think about it. But looking really, really good, man. Do you think that the switch to gas Famosaman was like a big eye opener, or is it just pretty much his his husky but just painted red?
It's his husky painted red. It's the exact same machine. If not, like honestly, like at one point, the Huskies were, because they had supply chain issues. The Huskies were KTM's with orange plastic on them. So like that's like a slight difference, but no, I think it's the exact same motorcycle. It's a lateral move, and like he stayed basically on the same team. Or no, he didn't. He was on Husky. But like, yeah, no, I think that it's if anything, I think the TLD team is more of like a fun place to ride and enjoy yourself. So, and Varizi did get car now. Shout out to me for being like Nostradamus of moto.
Hey, what's happening with Doe, man? He looks like he's running around.
Doe?
Yeah. Hey, Brad, if you could take over the reins just for a quick second, I got a phone call from one of the teams. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this 250 class here. He's making Thomas Doe out of France. Looks like he's moving down back, and like that's a lot of people had him in Paul Mix Fantasy. I did not. Jeremy Hand and Moran's are going back and forth. I believe those would be career bests for both those guys, especially Grant Harlan. He has for sure never been in the 5th place spot. And everyone's going to move up a spot with Thomas Doe going down. Of course, he's from France, very well-known rider. I think this is now officially also a he goes down because he literally goes straight into the, oh, that sucks. Oh, that's the worst. And he's got that Euro Kenny gear. That's a career best for Carnell as well as Bariz. So this is a total like an anomaly when it comes to this series for a lot of these guys. Harlan's never been the top 5 guy. Jeremy Hand in the 5th place, the 6th place spot. I'd like to see Moran's move up one. I'm surprised that Osby hasn't moved any further up forward, though. That's a shocker to me. Meanwhile, Colt Nichols leading and just gone. See you later. He's got 4 seconds on Craig, and it's not in question. Like Craig's gonna try. Like this is officially a 2-horse race with Lawrence out, and it's literally a table set for 2 for the 2 of these guys. And I think that's why I think Nichols is gonna win the championship. I think I saw that. Just straight up speed. Nichols has more, I think, and like everyone says, "Oh, Christian Gray has all the style in the world." I think that Colt Nichols has more style onto it. But dude, you might have said speed a little bit, and more. This championship is wide open. I appreciate it. I see it. Being right down there, that's pretty wild. So, yeah, this is totally nuts.
Okay, so we're back.
And as I was saying, like, it's the shit. Everyone's just not even. I love you. So when you were gone, when Doe was like finish line, because the leaders were coming through, so now he's out.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, whoever picked Lahovey, you are getting points.
Right here, dude. He's going to have a oh, yeah. He maxed out. He's at 52 points. I guarantee if I text Travis Marks right now from PulpMX, like, yeah, there's a 0% pick trend. Nobody picked Lahovey, not even his fucking mom.
So all my guys are maxed out except Short right now, which is pretty cool. Nice. So all my guys are maxed out. So
I think I'm all maxed out.
which is cool. Could you imagine if Short was running like what, 8th? Oh my gosh, dude, it'd be ridiculous right now.
Moran went back? What happened to Moran? Why is Moran's 10th now? I was all maxed out.
Carno.
What the fuck is happening to Moran's?
So still at 164. And looks like Nichols took that one pretty convincingly. So Brad, Nichols does this sometimes. We've seen the last couple of seasons where he gets in a win streak, he does really good. But for some reason, he can't hold it together enough to actually have a solid points grab and then lets it go. Is he going to hold on to this one? Do you think that this is going to be a season where we see Nichols as our champion?
Yeah, I think you're going to see. Why did it do that? It said final lap. It said 2 to go. And then it still says final lap. Nichols went across and like fist bumped, and I guess we're just not getting a last lap, or
no, they threw the checkers.
Like, that's so funny. Yeah, I know they threw the checkers, but it still says final lap. Now it says checkers.
Huh.
That is fucking weird. Moran's dropped some positions there. That hurt me. Fuck. Should have taken Barisi. He maxed out. So I got 179 or 172, I believe, in Pulp next fantasy. 172. So I did even better in Pulp next fantasy in the 250s this week than I did last week. So I think I'm looking good right now. And I got all 8 in.
I'm at 164 for 250s.
Wow, good job, man. That's good.
Not too
That's
bad.
Really good.
Not too shabby.
You're looking good, man. You're going to be flirting with a 300. But the scores are going to be crazy. Like in that race, there was all of the top 3 maxed out. Actually, the top 4 maxed out. So all of those all-stars maxed out. And then if you took Oldenburg, you're fucked. But then you have Harlan, Hand, Osby maxed out, Logan Carnell maxed out, Fleming went maxed out, Shaw maxed out, Harriman maxed out. Like literally, there's 52s everywhere. But if you had Thomas Doe on your team, if you had Mitchell Oldenburg on your team, or John Short, you got fucking shafted.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So now
the only thing I could have done better there is pick a first lap leader, which I wasn't going to do, and the 10 points that I lost with Moran's. So that for a perfect 250 team.
Definitely interesting. I personally am glad that I was able to salvage. And that just goes to show you, like, again, the theme of this year is the 250s. Yeah, it's a little bit more wide open. That's not for lack of talent. There's tons of talent in that division. I think it's just that it's pretty top heavy in terms of only having 4 factory guys that we saw in the main event, because guys are kind of going by the wayside. We see Faulkner's out. We see and any given weekend, we can have bike problems, much like an Oldenburg or a Doe. Plus, we've got Jet Lawrence that looks like he's out with a bum wing for a little bit. Hopefully, it's just a couple days. It just goes to show you the parity in this class. Grant Harlan walked away with a 5th. Carnow with a career best. Was that a 9th for him? So it's pretty remarkable. Yeah. And this is pretty much a great opportunity for a Supercross race. Yeah, definitely. It's a great opportunity for a 250 guy who might be, again, on the bubble, not really a consistent guy, might be new this year. You have a real shot at making it to the main. Not only making it to the main from a heat race. That can spark such confidence within a new up-and-coming Supercross racer, or maybe a guy that hasn't had the most luck over the years. This could really be a career-changing year, a momentum-building year for a number of 250 Supercross racers, and we could see that cascade into next year, or even possibly outdoors. We have a new crop of guys, maybe 10 to 15 guys who are in that 8th place to 15th place spot in a main that are just absolutely capable and vying for those spots. So pretty remarkable, pretty cool.
250 outdoors is going to be wild this year.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. You've got tons of talent, tons of opportunity out there, and I'm excited to see it. Brad, we're getting ready to kick off for a 450 main event. Before that, I just got a call from the SGB racing team. It looks like AJ Catanzaro ended up going down. He's fine. A few scratches on himself, but he broke his clutch lever, wasn't able to finish, but he was looking extremely racy this year. This round, which is great. AJ picked it up this year. Normally he's a guy that we don't talk about much in terms of, having that fervor for racing. He's got a lot of other ventures off of the pro racetrack. He's got his merch, his YouTube channel, his channel with his lovely wife, Allie. He's got his, the racing schools. He's got the Pastrana stuff. He's got the brand endorsements. He makes his money on the off season. Supercross is just kind of like a nice to have. Brad, do you think that more racers should think like AJ in terms of that more of entrepreneurial spirit off the track, not really focused on the racing scene? Or do you think AJ's missing something because he's not 100% eggs in the racing basket?
I think the question is what do you want to accomplish? Like, is your goal to rise to the absolute pinnacle of what your racing talent and ability and your support can take you? Or are you going to go and you're trying to create this loyal following and actually find other ways than just race results to make a paycheck? Because if I looked at the tax returns from one AJ Catanzaro, I'd be willing to bet that he clears a lot more cake than some guys that finish well ahead of him. But he puts himself in a position to work with young riders, give back to the community in that way, and for that reason, his racing and his results suffer. But if we're doing this to make money in the sport and to make it an occupation, can't fault him for that. He's doing a fine job of that.
I have to agree with you. I think it's super smart for riders to focus on their endeavors off the track as well. I love seeing riders have vlogs. I love seeing riders have, YouTube channels, merch lines, all these cool off-track ventures, because so much of the attention and the eyes are off the sport, are outside of the racetrack. So I think it's pretty darn cool. We're looking at the results right now. Colton Nichols won, Christian Craig second, Mike Moseman third. Kind of how we thought things would sort of proliferate down. And it looks like Colton Nichols has an 11-point cushion over Craig, which is pretty good going into the final East. I guess you call this the East round before we head into the stint of the West in Orlando, which is sort of weird to think about. What's that? There's two more.
One Indy and one Orlando.
Oh, sorry, one Indy, one Orlando. Sorry,
There's
thank you.
Two more. One Indy and one Orlando.
Yeah, thanks for the correction. Is this how you thought things would shake up? Did you think Nichols would be the guy that we're talking about being the points leader in the 250 class?
I will say, and I'm not going to say like 6 weeks ago that I was like, oh yeah, watch out for my boy Colt. He's gonna crush all y'all. Because honestly, we didn't even know what coast he was going to race. But have we known that this was in there? Have we known that this was a possibility where he has the speed, the skills, and certainly the bike to do it? Like, there's guys that are like clamoring to get onto that Star Racing Yamaha. He's been on it for a long period of time. He's familiar with those guys. He's got tons of skill. He hasn't been healthy. Now he is healthy, and I think we're seeing. Like we always asked ourselves, how would Colton Nichols do if he gets a full bill of health and he can just race the championship to the best of his ability? I think we're seeing what the answer is, and that's so far an 11-point lead. with I believe there's 4 rounds to go. It's pretty good.
Yeah, not too darn bad, man. That's so solid. It's also weird talking about being like five races in, and it's really only been like 2 weeks. This is such a weird feeling, but we're knocking down the series so quickly like this. I'm kind of surprised that we're not ending the series in like the middle or like beginning of March. Like, by the way, we're crushing through it. It's weird to think that we're gonna actually end this thing in like what, May time frame? Is it still, we're still up there? So definitely kind of unique. Brad, I'll ask you, because you weren't able to go to the races this year because of COVID. If there's one venue that you would want to go to this year that's currently on the schedule for 2021, what race would you want to attend the most this year?
Ooh, that's a really good question, Dave. There's so many great stadiums. There's a few that I haven't been to. I'm not super stoked that there's going to be the Atlanta races are going to be like, I'm stoked to watch them from my TV, but I don't think the viewing at a super speedway like Atlanta is going to be great for spectating. Those are going to be cool, and I think that Eli Tomac's going to get himself some wins there. But I would have to say like a place like Dallas. Been there before, but like Jerry World is such a beautiful stadium, and I think it's going to be really cool to see like just that stadium, and that's a really cool round to go to. I love the city of Dallas. That would be really, really awesome. Do they go to Denver? Are we still going to Denver?
I don't think so, no.
Not going to Denver anymore. And then honestly, because this championship is going to be so tight, I think I want to and if things open up, I think I want to try and go to Salt Lake City.
Dude, Salt Lake City is one of my favorite venues. I love the town. The people are super nice. Food's always good. And usually we have some pretty bomb racing, especially in the 250s. That's usually when, a lot of the points chases kind of come to a head, and we see some tight battling. So I'm definitely super excited for Salt Lake. A lot of good people, a lot of good friends out there, and it's a really good city for it. Most people don't really think of Utah as being a place for really cool motorsports racing or activities, but man, they garner some of the best sports programs, and such a fun opportunity for a lot of people to have fun. Brad, we're getting ready to kick off for the 450 main event. How do you think this one's going to shape up? Do you think that we're going to see a Kenny Tomac battle again? Like, what are your thoughts on what we're going to see here in a little bit?
I think it's going to be Webb. I think Webb's going to come out swinging, and I think he's going to land a roundhouse.
I can't disagree with you. I agree with you so much that I picked him for my team. So I definitely think Webb is going to have a good showing. I also think. Yep, I picked him for pulp.
Okay, I hope he DNFs then.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm putting all my eggs in the Webb basket for a win. I do want to see Roxon win this championship. I want to see him win this title. But I think Webb this is this kind of track where it's not overly technical, and you can be really flowy on the bike and just really muscle things around. And that's a track that I think Webb really excels at the most.
What was Anderson's deal today? He's not racing. I didn't see a practice crash.
I have no idea. I didn't get a chance to see that. That's one of the bad things about not really being at the races. You're not privy to a lot of the quick things that happen. You're usually a few hours behind things happening. I don't remember hearing of a practice crash in the week or anything like that either. So kind of curious.
I doubt he rode in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. But like, it's funny that Husky team has gone from having 3 guys to now they're single rider with the 16 of Zach Osborne, who's head to toe in that fly racing gear. He's wearing that FMF goggle. What's your thoughts on the FMF goggle? What's your thoughts on the FMF goggle?
So
beyond.
before I kick off on that, I just want to say a welcome to everybody. If you're just tuning in, we are doing our very first TCE Supercross watch party for one of the during the week races. While we were not able to attend the race today, we figured, hey, why not hop on and do a really cool Supercross watch party with some of our subscribers, followers, fans, and friends to watch the race and just spitball, talk about what we're seeing, get some industry questions, do some cool giveaways, talk about who our fantasy picks are, and just geek out over the races. I'm Dave Drakes with the Collective Experience, and with me, I've got Mr. Brad Gebhart of Big MX Radio. You guys have seen us quite a bit if you've tuned in to anything we've done. And we've been having a little bit of a blast just talking about the racing that's been unfolding today in Indy. We've got some cool things that we want to roll out as we keep doing these again, like more giveaways, more cool trivia, and more cool content for you guys. So, Brad, getting back to your question on what I think about the FMF goggles, I think it's cool that we have other companies kind of dipping their toe in the water when it comes to branding, when it comes to different kind of gear. However, I don't really think it's a cool grab for FMF. FMF is a power sports brand. They motors, exhaust system, stuff like that. I don't really picture like how would their expertise in pipes translate into goggles. It seems like it's such a specialized deal.
They would like branch out into more hard parts rather than just do like an accessory. Basically, like goggles are basically an accessory. They're safety and they're necessary, but like and it's one of the things like it's not even like they made their own thing. It's just a 100% goggle with a FMF strap on it. Like it might as well just be a Big MX. Yeah, it might as well be a Big MX goggle.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really see the I don't see the appeal all that much, but I do think it's a cool thing for branding. Most of the guys that wear the FMF t-shirt, the FMF hats and stuff like that, they're going to think it's cool. And there's a lot of those guys out there. So, hey, it's a cool money grab. I mean, get the bag, how you can get the bag. So I'm all for it. Guys, please feel free to send us in your questions in the chat. We want to be able to answer all of them for you, whether they're industry questions. Yeah, Brad's got plenty of answers for you guys. We've got, ask us questions about the sport, about Big MX Radio, about the Collective Experience, about the races, what it's been like to attend them this year. Ask us whatever, at any and all things, our backgrounds, whatever you guys want to ask. We're here to have a cool dialogue and interact with as many people as possible while watching this badass race that's about to unfold in the 450s. Let's see. So Phil, F1LL, I'm going to say it's Phil. AJ basically got me to watch SX at all. Came across his schooling vids, which was awesome on technique tips, and through his videos, I got an interest in SX for the first time this year. So that's super cool. So that's one of the things that goes back to the question of, what do you guys think of racers kind of having that off track presence? And this is a great example of that. I'm gonna call you Phil. I think it's Phil. Coming across AJ's videos that shows just how technical racing can be, and actually how effective your riding can be once you implement these various techniques. Now, once you do that on the bike, that translates into a much more fun ride. You're not having to fall as much, your consistency goes up, and you have a bigger interest in the sport, and that translates into more fans being developed. I'm all for that. I want to see more fans get absolutely addicted to Supercross. Too. Yeah, exactly. And another byproduct is you're safer. I want to have more safe, more enthusiastic, more passionate fans just envelop the sport and grow it as big as possible. Because to me, Supercross is cooler than basketball, football, blah, blah, blah. I'll say it, whatever, sue me. I think it's the most badass sport in the world. And I think we should all do it. Guys, I also want to implore you, if Supercross is coming to your neighborhood, please buy tickets. Check it out. Support Supercross, support Feld and what these guys have going on. They've been working their butt off to get us back to the races, back to the programming as usual, in a time when things are very unusual. Shout out to COVID. Please go on and check it out. Go to a race, buy the tickets, grab the merch from Feld and Supercross team. What they've been doing is really cool. Speaking of merch, we got an exclusive promo drop of a limited run of merch line coming out. Going to be very exclusive. We suspect it's going to go very quickly. So, guys, please stay tuned to the Collective XP at the Collective EX on Instagram. I'll throw those tags in the chat. check us out, and please be sure to subscribe and share all of the videos and content. We have weekly vlogs coming out, which are behind the scenes from the pro Supercross races. So we've got things going on like, chatting with riders, what it's like to be in the pits, checking out some of the rig that we have going on with our riders. We've got a lot of cool things coming on. So please check out all of those. We also have a cool series of digging into the pros race bikes. It's really interesting, really cool. And it gives you guys a chance to see how cool the pro race bikes are. Brad, we've been talking about fantasy.
Yeah, you did one with Ronnie Stewart there.
Yeah, I did one with Ronnie Stewart. Really cool to see a gas up close, especially see what the pros do to it. Super cool. Brad, you and I have been talking about, as I hit my computer, we've been talking about fantasy quite a bit. Who are your fantasy picks for this 450?
I literally just closed it, you rat bastard. Give me a second here. My team is Martin Dalos. My all-star is Eli Tomac, Marvin Musquet, and Kyle Chisholm. Those are the guys I'm rolling the dice with in PulpMX Fantasy. Hopefully these guys will max out for me and take some prizes home with PulpMX Fantasy. Currently leading a few. I think I'm 37th in the Industry Idiots League. So
wow, okay.
Continue my.
So I didn't do Industry Idiots, and I feel very foolish about doing that. I don't think I would have been able to place and make any money, but I should have done it. We're getting ready to drop the gate here, Brad. Who are you calling for top 3?
I got Webb, Tomac, Roxon.
Okay, I've got Webb. I want to say Muskin, and I got Roxon. Or actually, you know what? I got Webb, Roxon, Muskin. How about that?
Where's AC going to be?
I want to put AC in 5th. He's got a angry Tomac, a very racy Dylan Ferrandis. Mookie looked comfortable. So I don't know. Roxon just slingshotted around Barsha. Holy crap. Dude, how good is Roxon at getting out front and sprinting away from the rest of the pack? This guy is like second to none when it comes to literally just like putting laps down and leaving everyone in the dust.
No, I'll take Ken Roxon's first lap over pretty much anybody's first 3 laps of any race, heat race or main event than anybody. I think that's one of his. That's a hallmark when it comes to Ken. That's why he's already got a half second on Bam Bam, who gets a great start. Clayson bringing up the rear, but good ride so far from guys like Chisholm. Not a good start, not the same start we saw from Savachi, but he's moving forward. Great start as usual for Carlin Gardner. He gets good starts in main events, but he will likely move back a little bit. But and also Freezy with another great start, but Plessinger right there in 5th.
Yeah, can Plessinger hold that? Like, are we going to see Plessinger maybe put in a good ride?
I think so. I think he could very well move forward. Muscan is absolutely killing me right now with the 16th. That needs to change. But lots of racing left. But I like Chiz at a 14th or 15th right now. All right, no, he's like Marv's already moving up. I think Marv can get 8th.
I agree, and that's when he starts paying points. So I think Tickle and Marv can move up for sure. I expect those guys to move up because that's when the points start being paid out. I was gonna pick Bogle this week, but I
21st. Go figure.
Paying good points, paying very good points. Webb is coming through the pack, man. He looks like he's picking these guys off fairly simple, man. He's got some work ahead of him with Brayton and Mookie. I wonder
Ray is getting you 32 points. Clayson is getting you 34 points.
That's some solid points right there, boys and girls. Just waiting for Muskin to move
Is
up.
anyone maxing out right now? Gardner's maxing
Freezy?
out. And that, yes.
Freezy's maxing out as well.
Yes, Freezy is also maxing out. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. We spoke too soon.
You go down?
You're gonna see it in about 30 seconds.
I'm at I'm at 270, 277 right now for my points.
Oh boy, I don't even want to look at mine until Tickle and Marvin move up.
Marvin's on the move. He's already in 13th.
I need Marv to break the top 10.
He will. He's already in 12th. Man, half the time I spend so much time looking at the results board. I'm not watching what's going on the screen.
Yeah, same. Man,
And
Kenny
Ross has got a 4-second lead.
so good. He's so strong.
Yeah.
Do you think that
Seems
AC holds on
third,
for a
though.
podium? Yeah, I was just gonna say, do you think AC can hold on to this podium?
I think Tomac gets them.
Man,
What the hell's Webb?
Tomac's corner speed is just so solid.
Yeah, it's crazy. Webb's 7th. I think Webb comes up and gets 5th or 4th. I think he gets Cianciarulo late in the race here. Brayton's going to get got by Marv and Osborne. Davalos is probably going to stay there. He might get Brayton too. Why is Clayson parked on the side of the track?
I kind of thought Clayson would kind of take her easy a little bit for this main.
Yeah, it's okay. He made it in. His monkey off his back. Then
Exactly.
He can work on racing forward later.
Exactly. I think that's going to be his plan.
Even at the peak of his powers, he was a 16th place guy. How about the Huskies going away from the yellow-white back fenders?
I think that's phenomenal. I think their bikes look really good this year, actually.
Yeah.
Very good looking bikes.
What do you think about the Rockstar colors / font change?
I dig it. I think it's cool. A little bit more of like a prominent gold sort of look. I kind of dig it. I like it.
More punk rock, I think.
Yeah, I dig it. I think it's a cool look. A little bit more solid for them. And
I like the solid yellow though. That was more kind of like yellow and black, almost like Pittsburgh Pirates or something along those lines. But I understand
Steelers colors. Yeah, I definitely get it.
Stands up to 11. Yeah. Osborne is hounding fellow fly racing rider Brayton. Tomac needs to get past AC, and he's losing his mind right now. Behind him.
Come on.
3 more minutes. I think AC has about 3 more minutes of fitness in him.
Oh, you think so? Only 3 minutes?
Like, what would it be like? Oh yeah, I think that he's gonna. That's how long it's gonna take Tomac to get around him, and then I think plus like not AC like kind of falls into the clutches of guys like Webb and Osborne by the end of this thing. He's not racing forward right now. Like he's just kind of hanging on. You know what it looks like right now? Remember when Dungey used to race ahead of Villapoto?
Yes.
And like you're just waiting for Villapoto to get by him?
Yeah. Dungey was just doing the
this is what that
steady.
looks like, an AC. Yeah. And see AC just looked back.
Man, Roxon with a 7-second gap over Barsha, man. Holy crap.
Dropping one on the boys.
Holy crap. Now, if Muskin can move up, we get some good points out of this guy.
Yeah, he's 10th already. I don't know that he's going to get Osborne, though. I think he's got to kind of catch up to the back of Osborne. And then the two of them might get I see
Tomac got by AC.
Oh, did he?
Very strong
Did
pass.
somebody go down?
So watch the after the triple they go over. Watch how strong Tomac comes in.
Oh, he's gonna go inside. Yeah. See you later. Whoa. He just comes in there just on the brakes. Jesus.
How crazy is that?
Yeah. So
You have to know your motorcycle.
I told you, Adam Cianciarulo is going to be Mr. Fourth place because he's like the fourth best guy, and I think that's a dividing line between everything else. I don't think Plessinger and Mookie can get up there.
That's gonna be difficult.
I'm surprised that Barsha.
I thought for sure that
himself in second right now.
A little bit. I kind of thought for sure that we'd see Mookie sort of get up there a little bit better. It wasn't very. He wasn't very. I would say as aggressive as I thought he would be. But again, he's getting used to a whole new motorcycle, a new team, and he's got such solid results already, man. So.
Yeah, hopefully sixth in this field right now. Sixth is amazing. Oh my God!
Is it just me? Or are they getting awfully close to the right hand side of the landing finish line? They are getting very close to it, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
They're flirting. They always flirt with the tough blocks, though. It always blows my mind.
Yeah.
Placing 2 laps down. That sucks. Halfway through, 2 laps down. That's not good.
Huh.
Hey, there's Brown Dog.
And Barsh is just on his merry way, riding around and hoping no one comes up and starts bothering him. That would be a really cool, quiet second place for him if he can hold it off.
Yeah, he needs, like I said in my race review, that he needed like a get right redemption weekend for a race. He's certainly getting it right now.
So I want to ask you, what do you think is preventing Osborne from being as solid in Supercross as we've seen him in motocross? So it looks like he won the motocross championship. Like, it really didn't take like as much out of him as maybe some other championships. What do you think we need to do to see him have that sort of that finish or that confidence, that swagger for Supercross?
Well, I think his starts have been shitty. For when he is starting, he was up the class with Webb and Roxon being injected into that class. Like, those are guys he had to deal with. Even like he doesn't have to deal with Malcolm Stewart outdoors at all. And Creighton, he doesn't have to deal with outdoors at all. Like, you inject this 5 guys right there that are super fast, really, really skilled. And those types of guys make things difficult for you. Look at this, Plessinger all over the back of AC. That tells me that there's an issue with AC that we don't know about.
I think he might have gassed himself just a little bit early, AC, because he was up there with Roxon for a little while in Barsha, and I think just the nerves, just the holding on too tight, just wanting to be there so bad. I think he gassed himself.
I told you he had 3 more minutes of fitness. And look at him now.
So how do you work up to the fitness level of like a Roxon or Tomac or a Barsha or Osborne, where you can go the full length of the moto to the very last second of the very last lap and keep pushing? Like, how do you work your way up to that?
Well, I think that it comes to obviously you need to be working at it for a long period of time, and and that's like the repetitiveness and the base of fitness that's developed by doing it that way is and just having that time is really crucial. But I'm a firm believer in progressive overload. Like a lot of these guys, I think like guys like A-Ray, not to point him out, but like guys like him, he goes and does his 20 laps or his 20 minute motos, 20 minute motos, 20 minute motos. Like that's all well and good, but like to be really strong for 20 minutes, you have to be able to go at all for 30 minutes. It's no different than being able to run 2 miles or run 4 miles. Like once you learn how to run 4 miles, 2 miles is nothing. So I think that the difference is the guys that are able to really push and be consistent throughout the whole, like longer than what's asked of them, and I think that's the biggest difference. And right now, I don't think that Adam has that, given the fact that he had a surgical procedure on his elbow 6 weeks ago. Like you lose a lot of that fitness.
No, I definitely agree with you. I can definitely see just the level of training that those top guys have, just being so crazily, just so arduous and so calculated. Tomac caught Barsha and he's right on his rear wheel now. Is this a fitness thing for Barsha, or is Tomac just coming to the pack because he's just an all-out this bulldog and he's just going so much faster than Barsha at the moment?
I think this is Tomac saying, "Hey, I'm a championship contender and you're not," and he's just willing himself to take the speed to the next level with Barsha, and he's way better in that middle rhythm section before the whoops.
I agree. I definitely think so. I'm not gonna. I've said it a bunch of times. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but man, does Barsha's bike look so solid when he's going through a lot of this chop. So if you look at the whoops and how they're getting cupped out and they're starting to throw people around, it doesn't look like Barsha's that phased by him. I mean, even in those rutted rhythm sections, Barsha's bike just looks so steady and stable compared to some of the other bikes out there. So hats off to the TLD Gas team for getting his bike to be so dialed in and so solid with, I mean, not nearly as much development time with that bike as some of the other teams. Granted, it is a red KTM, but still, I mean, the fact that they get Barsha, who is used to Yamahas, comfortable in that thing with limited time, that's pretty cool. So hats off to him. Especially a shout out to Plessinger, man. Plessinger's kind of staying with AC and running fourth right now. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that from Plessinger, a guy that we kind of tout as like a top 8 guy, and he's looking really solid.
Yeah, Plessinger passed AC, and then it looks like Mookie got him too. So AC going backwards in the later stages of this race. Bummer to see that. Clearly, not able to hold on and hold the pace like he wants to, which has got to be frustrating for him. Surprised to see Ferrandis overtake Marvin. Marv's got like he's 47 seconds back. He's not gonna change that after the end of this race. So not my best time or not my best day that I could have picked Marv.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. We're needing those points big time.
274 right now. Fuck you.
So guys, we're gonna take it to the chat. Please be sure to send us your questions. We want to know what you guys are thinking about this race. We're having a blast talking about it, but don't let us get too wordy. We want to hear from you guys as well. Send us in your questions. Let us know who you think is going fast. Kenny isn't Kenny. John Scott says seems to be like what they're doing on the bike so far. So one thing that I keep seeing people talk about is like the parenting portion of all these guys' lives. Do you think that plays into that at all, Brad? Do you think that the fact that these guys are dads now, does that have a big governance over their racing, or is that just storylines that people just want to talk about because it's babies?
I think like there's guys that have been champions that have had kids. There's guys who have been single and had kids. I think what it comes down to is are you able to focus on the work that you need to do And if you can balance that with the dad life, I think that's a good place to be in your heart. To be honest, I think it's a solid platform, and I think that some people can pull a lot of good things out of that. So I can't see why that would be a negative. But although, what did Malcolm Stewart just do? Mookie just went down. I think that's going to help. I think that's going to help Marvin. That's awesome. But honestly, yeah, like it comes down to time management. If you can make it work, and you can do your best, be your best self, and take care of your kids, and be both those things, then I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people they get to the over sensationalizing all that stuff, and I'm like, man, it's cool. Yeah, they just had kids, man. I don't know what everyone's going crazy about, but it's cool. Good for them. Definitely props and kudos. I don't know if you're seeing it quite yet, Brad, but it looks like Barsha's giving Tomac all he can handle right now, man. They're kind of playing cat and mouse, and Tomac looks like he's just so over battling with this freaking red gas bike with the long hair flowing out the back, man. It looks like he just wants to move forward and get around and go chase Kenny down, which I think might be all in vain because Kenny's got a 10-second lead. We only have 30 seconds left on the clock. I mean, this is going to be a Kenny show for sure, right?
It certainly is. Yeah, no, it's Kenny's gone. This is like shades of Atlanta last year when he just absolutely laid one down on him.
Yep.
But yeah, Barsha, he's able to uncork that big rhythm section. Mm-hmm. That'll be something to talk about in the post-race press conference. Tomac, he needs to get by him here. He's got basically 2 laps to go here. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem to be a spot where he feels comfortable really throwing it in on him, and I think he's going to have to make an aggressive pass to make it happen.
I think so too. It doesn't seem like it's the best track to pass on, to be completely honest with you. I think the fact that Tomac, Osborne, Webb have been making the passes that they've been making is pretty freaking remarkable. They should get an award just for that. But yeah, it doesn't look like if you're the same speed as the guy in front of you, or maybe have just a little bit more speed, like it looks like to be the case with Tomac and Barsha. It looks like you don't have many options or many places to pass. I mean, that main race line seems to be set in pretty decently right now, and getting away from that looks like you get into that powdery sort of cushiony stuff where you start breaking loose in traction. And at the speeds that they're going, I don't think I want to experiment with no traction. So Tomac might be at his wit's end right now, trying to get by the number 51.
No kidding. And of course, Stewart gets back up and doesn't help Marvin. I think Marvin literally needed one more spot to get double points. Not going to get it with a lap to go. I don't think Stewart's going to relinquish that spot for me.
I don't think so.
Clayson four laps down. That's not good.
Oof, and that's all she wrote. Kenny takes the checkered flag. I'm pretty stoked. I'm pulling for Kenny to get this title. I don't know about you, Brad, but seeing Kenny kind of come through the adversity to win a championship would be pretty cool. Webb up to 4th, dude. Like, that's pretty badass. The guy was down early and worked his way up. That's pretty killer.
He must have got Plessinger on the last lap.
Super, super good.
Yeah. I love it.
How awesome is that?
Great racing. Great.
I'd love to see.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to see Marvin move up just a little bit, just for my fantasy team's sake, but still really good. So I think we're starting to see things take shape with the series, man. It looks like what we expected to happen will happen. Tomac is extremely fast. Roczen is a great athlete in terms of getting out and getting that early lead. And we've got guys like Webb, guys like Osborne, AC that could potentially be the spoiler at any given time. We haven't seen it quite yet, but we think that's going to happen. So Kenny being the first repeat winner on the season, hats off to him. The guy's been absolutely solid. What does this mean for the rest of the pack, Brad, that Roczen got another win, two races in a row, got a win? Is this kind of I guess, taking the wind out of the sails of a guy like Tomac? Or is it just another, like, you know what, whatever, we're going to regroup and come back and beat his ass next week? What do you think this means for guys like AC, Cooper, and Tomac?
Well, I think they're not happy about it, but for the guys who are in the championship hunt, they didn't have absolutely the worst nights of their lives. Like they did, the damage control was there. I think you take these back-to-back races, these you're back at it right away, and like, yeah, you gave up a few points. You got to come back the very next race and try and narrow the gap. You got to have a short memory when it comes to this stuff, and I think outside of Marv, who had probably one of the worst races that he's had in the last little while, as far as just like getting a bad start and not moving forward. The other guys don't really have much to worry about, aside from maybe AC, who isn't happy about being where he's at as far as his. I believe he ended up sixth, so maybe he's stressed out more than anybody. But the rest of the guys, Kenny's going to have his off nights. You just have to make sure that they have more nights that are on going forward. I think the guy who's probably most frustrated out of those three or those four is Tomac tonight. I think he really felt like he could have been second place.
I agree. I agree. I think it's just going to light the fire for these guys to come out next week and the rounds that follow and try to get their bike on the top step of the podium, like they all work to do, right? So this is pretty cool. Guys, this was super fun. This was a great opportunity to be able to watch the race, bench race a little bit, chat with a new group of people, and just get that interaction that we were all craving, right? And in times of COVID, we aren't able to all get to the races together. So this is super cool to be able to do this, and we want to keep doing this throughout the season. So please leave us your feedback. Let us know what you thought about this. We want to keep bringing you bigger and better things. Of course, this is just the dry run. Please excuse the background and the technical difficulties at the top of the show. We're working through things. I think we're going to be much better for the next one. Again, please be sure to check out Big MX Radio on Instagram and all of the cool interviews that Brad does week in and week out. You guys are going to love them. They're informative, funny, and we think you might learn something in the meantime as well. Go figure from Brad, right? And also be sure to check out the Collective Experience. We have our Arena Cross internship program that is booming right now. Please go to thecollectivexp.com and sign up. Get yourself connected in the sport, immersed in working with a pro team like you've never imagined before. The access is unbelievable, and you're going to have an opportunity to do some really cool stuff. Guys, also, please check out our YouTube channel. We've got a ton of behind-the-scenes vlogs from the races, from the pits. We're giving you guys an inside look at a bunch of riders' programs. We're keeping in mind that we have to be COVID safe, so excuse the mask, excuse the proximity to the guys, but we are giving you guys an in-depth look at the races every week, as well as a pro bike and a lot of cool other stuff. We're going to keep doing this, guys. We're going to keep bringing you guys more and more killer content. We're going to keep giving you guys more giveaways every time we do this. And again, be sure to check out what we have going on. Brad, I want to thank you for joining me. We're going to do this again. And yeah, I'm excited for what the season holds.
This is awesome, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. This was fantastic. I hope that you guys check out the Big MX Radio podcast. There'll be a race review out as early as tomorrow morning for you guys to enjoy. And yeah, thanks on behalf of Big MX Radio to Dave for hosting this whole thing, and it was a lot of fun.
100%, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in, and we're going to do this again. Brad, I will let you go. You have a great night, and you enjoy yourself, sir.
See you later, buddy.
All right, take care.